Last time on Square Roots, we go on a long walk with a new friend, deliver some flowers to orphans, and meet a real live Moogle. Later, Madam M gives us a hand. You know, our heroes face a lot of challenges, but I think this story will have a happy ending.
Hey everyone, and welcome to Square Roots, the classic RPG podcast. My name is Jim Banks. I'm joined by Matthew Van Sant.
Hey, Shirt Brothers.
Name for Johnny. Guys, what's a good name for Johnny?
Jim, promise me 1,000,000 times you'll never do another rule. That's going to be this whole episode.
No.
Yep, this is the one.
I bet, we're four intelligent people. We can come up with our own things, and then people can quote those.
We can.
It's true.
All right, John, Hell House, Brandon.
I'm not
the
bound
Hell House.
by the rules of gender.
And Vanessa.
Yeah, we got to get this guy who did this thing or whatever.
What?
And
We're all
we
looking
are-
for the guy who did this. That's the wrong season, Vanessa. This episode is about, I think you should leave season 3 quotes. I think
Oh,
Vanessa's
okay.
only here for the zip line.
I could see Vanessa enjoying a zip line.
Yeah, I don't mind heights, and I especially like it when I can dingle dangle. I'm a little bit claustrophobic, so I prefer a roller coaster where my feet can swing free in the breeze.
Well, the
than
zip
a
line
roller
ends in a
coaster where
pool. You have to drop into the pool at the end of it. It's not a very long zip line.
into a pool?
Yeah.
Over a hot tub into a pool. It's a short zip line.
Vanessa
wanna-
pulls, but guys, Vanessa pulls on the rope. She's just wrenching on the rope. She's too hard on the rope.
Yeah, I've had that note before.
All right. Anyways, this is a podcast where we play and talk about your favorite classic RPGs, one chunker at a time. And this week we are on part 4 of our Final Fantasy VII Remake series. I said it last week, but we had to cut out a little bit early. It's especially true, more true this week. This is the good chunker. A bunch of good stuff happens. I mean, not for the people of Sector 7, really, but for us as players.
I'd say out of the chapters we played, 2 of them were good.
Well, that's okay. All right. 50%.
2 of them were a fucking waste of time.
Wow.
I think a good third of the chapters in this game are kind of a waste of time. Oh, man. But before we get into that, let's talk about how we level up. Does anybody have just a burning thing you want to talk about?
Oh, wait. Before you level up, there's something before we level up I just want to say.
Oh, yeah.
Jerpig Hullabaloo, everyone!
Oh, yeah.
It's a Jerpig Bonanza on our Patreon. If you like to vote on things, join in our $5 a month tier, and you'll be able to vote for the Jerpig of your choice round 1. Round 1, there's 10 options. Round 2 will be the top 4. So you can, this time, vote for your dream. And then pragmatic votes for round 2. Got it?
We're all, at the Square Roots house, we are all hoping that you choose the feed egg game.
I've never got this far before.
Egg with the bush? What the hell? Oh, man. This is going to be the worst episode.
Yep.
It already
It's gonna be bad.
is.
I got too much going on business-wise.
Before we get into level, I just want to say, these are for round 1 choices. Trials of Mana, Persona 2, Innocent Sin, Shining Force, Wild Arms, Trails in the Sky, Resonance of Fate, Near Replicant or Gestalt, Lunar, Silver Star, Suikoden 2, and Dragon Quest 8.
There's a couple of games
hot.
in there I've always wanted to play. Lunar's
Yeah,
Silver
me too.
Star Story. I think
Yeah.
I slurred that. Stone Cold Silver over here. Stone
I
Cold Silver
love you,
slurred
the
my words.
Lunar. There's the little
Silver Star Story,
boy.
Dragon
There's the
Quest
dragon.
What can I play Dragon Quest 8 on that's not a phone? Don't say the
Your
Vita.
3DS.
It's
I
on
don't
an
even know what that
iPad.
fucking thing
It's
is.
on. It's on the PlayStation, isn't it?
PlayStation 2. Do you have a PlayStation 2?
Can you play it on PSTV?
No.
Shit.
Why is
it
not
on
gotten
PC?
A fucking remake, a real one. You know, I don't want to talk about this.
It's just a remaster. Yeah, that's a good question.
Is it on PC?
No.
Damn.
Yeah.
Wow.
John's we
dig on my
probably
PS2.
can't play them list.
Oh, come on. There's like a million ways to play this. You're just trying.
No, I'll play it
You're
on my
not
phone.
trying at all.
If it's Dragon Quest
Yeah.
8. I want to play it.
Yeah.
Oh,
It
it's
wants
on
to
the...
play you, buddy. It wants to play you.
It's on the. Oh, it's selling for $68 on the PS2 on Amazon.
Whoa! Hot vote
$68?
update.
Yeah.
Hot vote update. Trails in the sky. Immediate leader.
Oh, yeah. Wow. I didn't catch Trails. Hell yeah, Trails. I'm dying to play a Trails game on this show.
We already have.
No, that's a Tails game. This is a Trails game.
Oh, no.
Duh.
Whatever.
Come on,
Duh.
loser. How could you not know the difference? All right. Did you want to level up first, Jim? Are you burning?
Yeah, I'll go
Is there a
first.
weird tingle sensation
Don't
around
you
your...
Weird tingling
fucking
sensation.
spoil it. No spoilers,
I'm not going to
Jim.
spoil anything.
Don't even talk about
He
it.
will, though.
I know he will.
Every
I won't.
time he
I
says,
won't. I
yeah,
won't.
this isn't a spoiler, but
I'm more-
really
I thought
liked
I
at
was
the end
more
of
the one who
movie when
accidentally
this character died
spoiled
and this
stuff.
I
character
know
lived.
that you guys are really worried about me spoiling the movie I saw this weekend, but don't worry, I'm not. I saw the movie Boogeyman, the most recent Stephen King adaptation.
Wait, Mr.
No, you
Boogedy?
got- No Boogeyman.
So Mr. Boogedy, right? I
No,
think that's what you
it's
mean.
Boogeyman. And it was not very good.
Wow.
So I saw that movie, which was not very good. And then I saw a movie that was really good, which was Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. Now, I know you guys asked me not to spoil it, and I won't, but I'd like to talk about the ending.
Come on.
No, I'm not going to do that. I will say it was really good. It's a long movie. It's like 2 hours and 20 minutes or something like that. It doesn't really seem that long. It's never boring. Like, it's always got something cool going on. It's funny. It's got some real tender moments. It's consistently entertaining in lots of different ways. I would say it's one of the best superhero movies I've ever seen in my whole life. My entire
Wow.
life. Yeah.
That's pretty high praise.
Yeah, maybe my favorite one.
How does it compare to Mystery Men?
I mean, what can compare to Mystery Men? I would say that it's not as good as Mystery Men because there's no Tom Waits
Oh, okay.
making non-lethal weapons that give people headaches. What was going on with those guns in that movie? I don't remember. But yeah, that's what I did. Vanessa, how did you level up?
Two things to talk about today. Thing number one, continuing my love for documentaries about weird fundamentalist cults, I watched the Duggar documentary on Amazon Prime. This one is rough. It's not a recommendation for everyone. As with all of these things, it has all the bad things you would imagine it would have, and probably more. But if you're at all interested in fundamentalism or interested in the particular case surrounding that family, or interested in reality television and how it can be manipulated to portray certain aspects of things while covering up other aspects, it might be for you. It's only 4 episodes long, and it's pretty interesting. It really gets into not just the Duggar family themselves, but the organization that they were a part of, and its founder, who is also a terrible person. So I saw that, and then for a total change of pace, I saw the first 2 episodes of American Born Chinese on Disney+. I really, really like it. I think it's a great show. It doesn't seem like it's gotten a lot of chatter about it. It's based, I guess, on a graphic novel, which I have never read. But it really captures a feeling of like contemporary youth, I would say. Like it feels like these kids are kids you could see in a high school today, as opposed to what most high school shows portray, which is like 28-year-olds hanging out at someone's idea of what high school might be like now, but they went to high school in the 90s, so it's very much like that. Although the guy who plays the lead, I think he's 23, but he's fantastic. Really good at playing young, sort of Tom Hollandish in that way. It also has Michelle Yeoh and Ki-hye Kwan, Daniel Wu, lots of actors who you'll recognize, many of whom were in Everything Everywhere All at Once. Not all of them. James Hong is in it. He is, everyone's favorite classic actor. And it's good. If you like superhero shows or anime, I think that you would enjoy it. I'm very much looking forward to seeing the rest of it. That's how I leveled up. And nobody here had anything to say about it the whole time.
Did you say
As
the name
per
of the
usual.
second thing? I didn't catch it.
American-born Chinese.
Oh, okay.
I've seen trailers for that show in front of the movies that I saw over the weekend.
You should watch it. It's very good.
Oh, maybe I will.
Actually, I'm not sure if it's a for Jim show. I think, Matt, you would like it a lot.
Okay, I'll
And
check it
I
out.
think that,
Watch
I
it with
think
the
Haley
kids.
might like it too. Yep.
Yeah, right. That kid only watches YouTube and TikTok.
Well, tell her it's a TikTok. Be like, hey, check out this TikTok. And then when it just keeps going for half an hour, be like, yeah,
The
that's
40-minute
one of
long
those new
TikTok.
long-form TikToks. Actually, Connor would probably be like right in the target audience for it. So, yeah, watch it with the kids. That's how I leveled up. Matt, how did you level up?
I started watching a show that came out quite a while ago, and I haven't finished it yet, but it's the only thing I did, so I guess I'll talk about it. I've been watching Welcome to Wrexham. What do y'all know
Never
about?
heard of it.
What do y'all know
I
about
know about
Wrexham?
that. I know
That's
about
a soccer. It's a
That's
soccer.
Rob McElhenney and Ryan Reynolds buy a soccer team because they're rich bros.
Oh, I have heard of it.
Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney buy a soccer team. It's really good. I really enjoy all of the like soccer informational stuff kind of built into a lot of like humor and drama. It is about Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney buying a soccer team, like a League 5 soccer team, which is like a minor league soccer team, and what they're trying to do is get this soccer team up into the Premier League, which is the major league for English soccer. It's a Welsh team, and so it's set mostly in Wales and around England as well. And it's been great. I don't really know how it's going to end. I did not look at the news around the end of the season to see how they did. So I'm I don't know if they're going to go up at the end of this season. If they don't, that's going to be a real blow. Though I'm sure the television show is helping pad out some of those losses. But it's great. It's a lot of fun. It's good. It's about soccer. You guys know about soccer?
It's a very interesting system they have there where a minor league team can be promoted, like the entire team, into the major leagues, essentially.
It's every year, and the bottom team goes down, and the top team in the lower league comes up, and it happens across all of the leagues. So it's this kind of weird pyramid where people move around, but there's a lot of money involved. You're paid a ton of money by the EPL for depending on what league you're in. And Wrexham was once in the Premier League and has over the years declined until they're at basically the bottom of the rung. And
Wow.
I mean, it's almost, as they say, I think in the first episode, it's almost like they are one step above Little League at this point. And it clearly means a lot to the people of that town. And I think Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney have their hearts in the right place and are trying to do something, profitable, hopefully for themselves, but also good and good for the community. And I think it's pretty neat. I'll finish it up this week. It's been a good, fun watch. I am still playing Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. I am, as I was just saying before we started recording, absolutely scraping the bottom of the barrel. I've hit all 40 heart containers. I've done 140 some odd of 152 shrines. All of the story stuff except for the end. Have most of the various clothings you can get. And I just kind of can't stop playing it. I keep not going and finishing the game because I don't wanna. I've just been shrine hunting sneaky shrines for the last few days and finishing up, opening up the underworld map, which takes a lot of time. I guess I will probably finish it this weekend, if not before then. But I don't really want to because I love it. It's very good. Don't ask me how many hours I've played.
End?
I don't know if
Like
it allows you. I don't know if it does you can game over. You can go back out into the world and do your thing. If it does, there's not a lot left for me to do, honestly. I mean, my side quests and there's 3 kinds of side quests, like side quests, side jobs, and like missions or something like that. I don't remember what the last one is. And I have cleared almost every single one of those. In the side quests, I have nothing left. And like the side jobs, I have nothing left. In the shrine quests, I have nothing left. In the main quest, I have nothing left except for the final quest. I do have some of the little jobs left, but frankly, the payoff for those is not really worth those aren't very fun. I taught at a school. I rode around on some dragons. I plumbed the depths of the underworld for clothes, because that's where clothes are. As well as the sky map for clothes and Will of Sage thingies, which are handy. And I barely have anything left to do. There's 1,000 Koroks, and I've only collected, 150, so that's the one thing in the game that I just don't fucking care about. I don't give a shit about the Korok seeds.
I have less Korok seeds than I do shrines. I'm so bad at finding them in Breath of the Wild.
There's definitely, there is a handful of kinds of Koroks, and you learn to recognize them, but I don't care. I think after the first couple of days of playing the game, I totally bailed on this one has these, it's like you get 2 Korok seeds. There'll be a Korok sitting on the ground with a backpack that's larger than his body, and he'll ask you to take him to his friend, and he'll show you where the friend is. And at first I was like, neat, you get 2 Korok seeds for these. And after doing, a dozen of them, I was like, I hate this. I don't want to do this anymore. I mark them. Every time I find them, I mark them on the map, and I'm never going back. That's the one thing I don't care about. I'm not trying to 100% the game. I'm just playing it. I'm just enjoying it so much that I don't want it to end, but I think we're there. There's not much left for me to do. Well, I have not gone into Hyrule Castle yet because I've been afraid of triggering the end game. And I think I made the same mistake that I made when I played Breath of the Wild, which is that you were kind of expected to go poke your nose into Hyrule Castle at some point, so the monsters around are kind of weak. So I went up there today, and everything was so low level that I was one-shotting everything, and it's kind of well, I kind of fucked this up. The challenge has been stripped from this, but that's all right. I'll still enjoy poking around. Anyway, what about you, Johnny? How did you level up?
Well, first of all, I have to say, this vote is heating up, Matthew. Look at the polls. It looks like Trails in the Sky still holding on to its early lead with a tie for second, a 3-way tie among Persona 2, Wild Arms, and Nier Replicant. This is a nail-biter of a vote. Who is going to win? Who's going to lose? It's going to be a hard day for some games, and other games are really going to take it to the next level. And by next level, I mean the round 2. And that's it for Vote Talk. I leveled up, played some more driving games with my little steering wheel. That's been fun. And I played more Fallout 76 with my friend Vanessa. And
Yeah.
that's a good time. She was with me as I was expanding my living space. I still need way more plans. I need so many plans.
I'm trying to help you the best that I can.
Oh no, I just need to play more. That's all. That's how the game gets you.
That's how it
Gets
gets
ya.
you.
The more you play, the more people are logged in, and people are selling plans at their place, and there's lots of social interactions, and what a fun time. Listeners, if you ever want to join us, let me know on the Facebook group. I'll try and see. We usually play in the evening, so if you're welcome to join us. If that's okay for me to say, Vanessa, is that okay for me to say?
Wow, way to put me on the spot. Yes.
Well,
that's
we'll
totally
delete
fine.
this if it's not okay. By we, I mean Matthew, because he's editing, and he
You
will not
won't,
delete
though.
Oh, no, is it my week to edit? I don't want to.
it. I can edit if you need me to.
No, I don't.
Okay.
I've also been building up my house that's next to Johnny's to try to goad him into building his house bigger, because every time he logs on, it's like doubled in size.
Yes, it's really the Animal Crossing situation. Oh, we should try Animal Crossing online now that I have now that I'm not living in the place before with the walls that blocked all Wi-Fi
Oh, yeah,
signals.
that'd be great. We could actually have a little party.
Yeah, I've played Switch games quite a bit at this place, so it's been pretty good. And no one's torrenting things anymore. Really haven't been doing a ton. I'm sorry. It was kind of a low week for me, but things are getting better. Things are looking up, so that's good. What did I thought I played something fun that would be fun to talk about, but I can't think of it right now. Oh, I've been playing a little bit of Shiren the Wanderer on
What's
Switch.
that?
What is it?
It's like a rogue style game, like really old school rogue. Like you take a step and all the monsters take a step, and there's lots of magical items you need to identify. It's a top down, very, very old school,
Oh, wow.
hardcore, like randomized dungeons. You die and then start at the beginning,
I
kind
think
of
that's on
JRPG.
Game Pass as well, right?
There might be a version of it on Game Pass. I'm playing it on Switch. But it's that series has been it's spun off of like the Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, the Dragon Quest Mystery Dungeon games. It's by the same people that made those.
Oh.
So yeah, it's a really hardcore roguelike. And then I wanted something that would look really nice on my Switch OLED that the Patreon got me. I have Metroid Dread. I haven't started yet because I've been playing so much Breath of the Wild. That's the other thing I've been playing. Breath of the Wild. I did get past the second big monster thing. What are they called? Divine Beasts? I was very proud of myself.
Yeah, you
for
beat
doing
that Gerudo Divine Beast.
Which apparently is the hardest one.
It
Especially
definitely is.
stupid. I had to get rubber pants in order to beat it. I was getting pretty mad too.
Shiren the Wanderer is
saying-
not on Game Pass. Minor correction.
Yeah, I did. I thought it would just be
Something
on.
else I saw
It
on
seems
Game
like
Pass
it's-
recently with a similar name, I think. I don't know what it was.
Oh, okay. So now I'm going to the Rito one. I figured I'd do that one next. I tried going to the Goron place, but just caught on fire. So I probably need to get some cool down potions if I want to go to the Goron.
That
Or not
Sage of Wind
potions.
power is the best. Not the best, but the handiest power. It's the most useful.
I also have been messing around with putting those Octorok balloons on things, which is really fun. I don't know if there's a gameplay use for it other than putting on things and watching them float away. Can you put it on monsters?
I don't know. I don't think I ever messed with that. How do you put it on them?
If you hold it out and then drop it near something that will. I don't know if it works on monsters. I've just put it on items and then watched them float away. You can't put it on people. I did try that at a stable. Maybe.
Yeah, this isn't Skyrim. It doesn't let you break the game generally.
I've heard that you can do some really interesting things with making robots in Tears of the Kingdom, and that sounds fascinating.
It's fucking crazy. My Facebook has been really trying to put me to shame by constantly showing me. It's figured out that I like Tears of the Kingdom, and is constantly showing me like, hey, here's all the crazy shit people are doing in Tears of the Kingdom. And I'm like, oh, I just climb the mountains. I don't really care. Like, I don't need a robot. Oh, they're monsters? I'll kill the monsters. I'm not going to build a robot to kill the monsters.
I finally got some ancient arrows, but then like I got some ancient arrows and I was like, okay, now I'll go to that hard test of strength out in the bottom right corner of the map, like on that island. And it wasn't good enough. I don't know. I think I needed some other equipment or better weapons or something.
Some of those tests of strength are really hard. You can buy those ancient arrows eventually.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I just unlocked buying them. Once I made that oven, that what was the name of the oven that the guy's in love with? I love that
I don't
design.
remember the name, but yes,
Sally or something.
It's robot oven.
Yeah, he wants to fuck that.
Yeah,
oven.
he does. Oh, show.
All right, is anyone else left? Matthew, have you leveled up? I think you have, right?
I mean, I can talk about Tears of the Kingdom more. Did you guys know about what do you all know about robots? Like, you want to talk about building robots? No.
I saw on my TikTok, I've been making some TikToks. Go over to TikTok, look for Johnny Barnstorm. I've had some free time, so I've been making TikToks.
John, I want to know more about your TikToking off the air. I would like to understand how you're editing these together.
I edit them on my PC using Resolve.
What's Resolve? Is that like a paid software?
He
Nope,
said
it's free.
off the air.
Oh, sorry. All right, is everyone... How overrated do you feel this episode has been so far?
I feel like my eyes are bothering me, and so I'm not going to be very focused this time. Also, I haven't had any magic juice, so I'll be off my game.
Okay.
I'm nervous that I won't be ready.
Sounds like
but
Matt
I'm gonna do my best. Yeah, he's
was
like.
thinking
I
Matt's-
think Matt's sandbagging a little bit. Matt's sandbagging
I
a
was
little bit,
thinking,
trying to get our guards down.
I'm going to try this buzzin.live thing because I'm so delayed compared to you all that I think the buzzers... Let's try this. Let's see if it works. If it doesn't, I'll just put it into the...
Are you going to give us a link or something?
Yeah, I'm just going to give you a link right now. And the number is... Let me put the number in. So it's like a Jackbox, right? So you just put this number in. All right, here's the number. See if this works. If it doesn't work, I'll just listen to you say buzz again. It's really not a problem. But I figured, I know that some people use this. Oh, there's Matt. There's Shirt Brother.
Hey, Shirt Brother.
That's Vanessa.
Promise me 1,000,000 times you'll never do another rule.
The absolute manic and intense way he says, "Hey, Shirt Brother." Like, it just gets me
All
every
right.
time.
I want you all to test buzzing. So I'm going to say buzz in just a... Oh, you just double. Let me clear
Matt and
the
I
buzz.
both already buzzed.
Let me clear the buzz. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Okay, I haven't said one yet.
Sorry.
Okay. 3. I'll say buzz. When I say buzz, hit the buzzer. No. 3. God damn it. 3, 2, 1. Buzz. Nice. Okay, that works great. I loved it. All right,
I didn't like
clear
it.
these
Why was
buzzers.
I last? I said it when you said... I hit buzz when you said buzz.
I don't know. They're faster than you. They're closer geographically. I think actually might be the answer, Matthew.
I turned my sound on too.
Oh,
So
is there
your
a sound?
recording will pick it up.
No,
going-
it's just for me.
Oh,
Okay. All right, I got to clear these buzzers so that you can't just keep buzzing, Matthew. Jim, stop it.
Buzz.
All right. Oh, man. Some of these are like 3,000 words long.
I think we should
I'm not-
say buzz when we buzz just so that the listeners have a...
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
That's fine.
Def.
Yeah.
Def.
All right. Game 1. I know I'm opening a Pandora's box here, but I'm genuinely open to listening to alternative opinion as long as it's supported with good reasoning. I've played the following titles of this series, and they list all the titles. I've put in my time. I'm now a 20-year veteran of the series. I recently picked up another game on Steam, but this game on Steam, and I simply cannot get into it. I'm currently near the end of the game. The villain has already destroyed most of the world and all that, I've simply been waiting for it to reach the point of transcendence that everyone hyped it up to be. It's not getting there.
Buzz.
Vanessa.
Is it Final Fantasy VI?
It is Final
God
Fantasy
damn it! I
VI.
knew it was Final Fantasy VI.
I knew it was that too. There's no way he'd do it. He's picked. Why is that in every round? Why?
It's the first one every time.
I don't know what you're talking. This is the first time I've chosen Final Fantasy VI. Okay, next.
Hang
game
on,
number
Johnny.
2.
You didn't explain
You've
the
never
game
even
or the
played it.
rankings
Yeah,
again.
Oh, right. Well, I'm giving Vanessa a X here. Okay, so this is Johnny's stupid game, or Johnny's overrated game, if you prefer. And in this game, I read you a long rant from the internet decrying the game as overrated. Many of them are from GameFAQs or Reddit, mostly. And I remove the name of the game and the game series and the major characters, including villains. And otherwise, I leave it unchanged, and you buzz in as soon as you recognize what game I am talking about.
I think Johnny's trying
currently-
to tell us he thinks Final Fantasy VI is overrated.
What? Currently, Vanessa is in the lead with 8. Matthew has 6. He's second place. And Jim has 5. Still, it's anyone's game. You know, we're really able to. I think you're all able to come back here. So let's move on to game number 2.
Yeah, clear the buzz. There you go.
Yeah, I cleared the buzzers. Many people think this is one of the best games on the PSX. I don't like it so much. It's not learning how to play, which is the problem. It's not the combinations either. It's not hard to understand creature, elemental, and weapon type. I'm doing moderate damage. I don't mind linearity.
Buzz.
The maps aren't confusing. Matthew.
Final Fantasy VIII?
Incorrect.
Oh.
Buzz.
The map. Jim.
Doesn't everybody get a chance to
Oh, yeah,
steal?
Oh, that's right. I forget the rules to my own game.
Oh, Steel. Chrono,
Yeah, Jim.
Chrono Cross.
Incorrect.
Oh.
The maps aren't confusing, and I like the
You
idea
gotta
of
reset the
crafting.
buzzer.
Oh, right. It's just a slow menu simulator grind fest. This system is very deep with multiple weapons, forging new weapons and armor, magic, break arts, chain attacks.
Buzz.
Vanessa.
Is it Legend of Mana?
It is not Legend of Mana. And defensive skills. I'll clear that. Oh, does anyone want to steal?
Steal.
Matthew.
Is it Vagrant Story?
It is Vagrant
Booyah.
Story.
I was trying to remember. I remember
Break
the term
arts,
break
yeah.
art. Yeah.
That's-
Yeah.
I wasn't 100% sure on that one, I'll admit it.
Ah, no, you got it. Great job, Matthew.
I did
Game
it.
number 3. I have recently finished replaying this game, one of my absolute favorite JRPGs of all time, and one to which I'm rather emotionally tied, as back in 2007, I was a broke middle school student obsessed with pirates, space, and the fact I couldn't yet
Buzz.
afford.
Buzz.
Vanessa
Buzz.
got it.
Oh.
I don't see anyone on this buzz list.
Vanessa's
But I-
number 1 on my buzz list.
Yeah, my buzz
Me
list
too.
too.
What? Oh, wait. Oh, there you go. Yeah, you're right. Okay, sorry. I'm not good at this.
Is it Final
Vanessa?
Fantasy 12?
Steal.
No.
Steal.
Oh, no.
Matthew.
Rogue Galaxy.
Correct. It is Rogue Galaxy. But yeah, there's no space in Final Fantasy 12. That's the only.
There
only
is.
thing.
There is. It's
Oh,
just
that's true.
like Star Wars.
You do briefly go into outer space at the end, don't you?
You do. Yeah, and don't you go to the moon or something?
I don't think so.
Or you on
But
an
it's just-
asteroid or whatever?
I don't think so. Do you?
You do.
Maybe I
You go to
forgot.
like the monster asteroid thing, right?
That's 8.
No, guys, that's fucking Final Fantasy Spirits Within.
Oh, the
Almost
ghost.
got
That's
space
the
in Final
ghost.
Fantasy game.
All right, I've cleared buzzers. Game number 4. When the question, what did you like about this, the game's predecessor is asked, most people reply, characters in the story, along with Yasunori Mitsuda's excellent collaboration. But when the same is asked about its sequel, this game, the answer is always soundtrack and atmosphere, which are, to be honest, fantastic, but never do you hear that their favorite aspects of this game were the story or characters. All this begs the question, why was this game so critically acclaimed?
Buzz.
Each character... Matthew?
Is it Xenoblade Chronicles?
It is not.
Okay. Any steals?
Steel.
Vernesser.
Is it Chrono Cross?
It is Chrono Cross.
Nice job.
A great job. Come on, Jim. Jim, what's going on?
What do you mean?
You're getting
Trying.
shut out.
I'm trying my hardest.
I don't think the host is supposed to pick on the contestants.
Yeah.
No,
I'm not
In
against
plenty,
it,
like-
but
in plenty of games, like they interact with the contestants.
Sure, like Big Fat Quiz of the Year.
Yeah. All right, game number 5. I've owned my Switch for around 2 months, and this game was the first game I played. After reading the topic on here, now ranking the games of this series, I thought about my feelings on the game and considered it a huge disappointment, mainly because I'd heard for 10 years now how amazing this game was, and after finally experiencing it, I realized it let me down in pretty much every aspect. Like the characters. I play RPGs mostly for memorable characters, and this game doesn't have it. The main character is the Rion of this game. He's just sort of there and isn't really likable and doesn't really have any negatives about him. Another character is a bros bro like Waka from Final Fantasy X, but he has no personality. He doesn't really have any strong beliefs like Waka. Another character is the most pointless character ever. Another character should have been the Auron of the game, but he ended up being a boring dud that sort of disappears. Another character is the annoying little pet companion of the game.
Buzz.
Shirt Brother.
Xenoblade Chronicles.
Correct.
ooh,
Yay! Jim is on the board.
There we
You
go.
did it.
I did it.
Yay! All right, and a bonus. I think you all get this bonus. I made sure this bonus was achievable.
is this a
That's
character
what I thought
like
about.
last time?
Yeah, it's a character.
Special
Okay.
character bonus.
Yep. This game is my favorite game of all time, but this character receives far too much praise over characters like one character or another from the same game. In fact, he is the only character that made it into Kingdom Hearts 2, and he made it over
Buzz.
other character in this game. Matthew.
Is it Auron?
It is not
Damn it.
Auron. This character reminds me of Auron, another overrated character. Sure, both characters are good, but the sheer overflowing fanboyism makes me facepalm sometimes.
Buzz.
Vanessa.
Is it Leon/Squall?
It is not.
Ooh,
Leon
I was about to guess that, Vanessa.
And that's it for this this post too. I thought you would have got it.
Read it again.
Can you read it again? Read it again.
I'll read it again. Okay. You know what? I'm going to
Just read it again.
Okay, I'm going to read it again. This game is my favorite game of all time, but this character receives far too much praise over characters like Character 1 or the villain. In fact, he's the only character who made it into Kingdom Hearts 2, and he made it over the main character of this featured game. This character reminds me of Auron, another overrated character. Sure, both characters are good, but the sheer overflowing fanboyism makes me facepalm sometimes.
Buzz.
Vanessa!
Is it Phil?
Who's Phil?
I guess it's not Phil.
I don't
Were
know
you
who
thinking
Phil
Phil
is.
the Satyr?
Yeah.
No, Hercules is in that game.
Okay.
though.
Well, that's what
Let me
I
try
thought,
this
but
again,
I didn't have anything
And
else.
this
Buzz.
time I'm going to... Matthew.
Is it Bosch from Final Fantasy 12?
It is not
Fuck.
Bosch. Okay, let me try again. I'm going to clear. This time, the only thing I'm going to redact is the name of this character and the game. And I'm 100% sure you're going to get it. Okay, I'm looking at these buzzers. This game is my favorite game of all time, but this character receives far too much praise over characters like Zidane or Kuja. In fact,
Buzz.
he is the only
Buzz,
character...
damn it.
Oh, Matthew just got it.
Vivi.
Yeah.
Man,
Vivi.
Vivi was an early guess for me, and I wasn't sure, so I skipped it.
Oh.
Possibly think that Phoebe was overrated.
100% agree.
I don't
Stupidest
know.
goddamn thing I've ever heard in my life.
Oh my
Embarrassed
God.
for
It's
you,
a
writer.
terrible. It's a terrible opinion.
All right, Johnny, fill us in on
Holding in on
those
myself.
standings.
All right. Tie for first place. Matthew and Vanessa with 9 points. Only 3 points behind is Jim.
I missed the
All right,
first
I made it to
fucking
second
game.
place.
And didn't even have your special answer juice.
Storming back. I like Johnny's game the best.
Yay!
I'm really nervous for when it's my turn because I got nothing.
You only got 3 episodes
All
left.
you gotta do is make a game where you're humming the songs from a game. We have to figure out what you're doing.
That sounds fucking terrible.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like it was very good listening. I've been thinking that maybe the easy way to please the hosts would be to make you do some sort of task.
Ooh, what? Did someone say
wouldn't-
task?
That wouldn't please this host.
I've been thinking the only way to please the hosts is to make you all crawl around on a board made of metal.
The metal is my ground.
You see, the metal's your ground. He built it! What a great show.
You guys ready to talk about old Final Fantasy VII Remake?
I'd rather talk about I think you should leave for the rest of the night, to be honest with you. Let's start off with that very first sketch, zip line, and the
I think I should leave.
my favorite part of that is when the guy gets kicked off the show. He's crying, he's so sad, and he gets kicked off the show, and he just goes, "Aww, aww." Are you sure?
That's so good. Oh man! All right, let's. All right, so last time we ended with Cloud getting JO'd in a massage parlor.
He didn't get JO'd. He got stimulated. It was like a tantric thing that made him have an
Yeah.
orgasm.
I mean, he didn't. There was no like jack off motion, but the outcome was the same.
Yeah. It's a tantric stimulation.
Yeah.
All she did was like push on his little pressure point that's right there. We've all done it.
We can all agree he orgasmed.
He got pushed off. Got squeezed off.
Man, I need to sweep my
So-
floor.
I bet there is someone in the world who like really enjoys having their little pressure point there touched.
Not bad. Have you ever had a hand massage? It's pretty good.
No, I've never had a hand massage.
Yeah, I
It's
think only
pretty
as
awesome.
part as like maybe as part of a full other massage, but not like hand in particular.
I've had a hand job. Is that similar?
Oh!
God, I say one stupid line from I think you should leave, and you two fall over your fucking selves. But I try to make my own joke, and it's fuck
Everyone
you, Matt.
ices me? And I'm not popular at all.
In my defense, I didn't like either of them.
Well, you guys suck. I have over 200 friends. So.
The problem with my friend group is that I have to pay.
I was being weird at a party, so now I'm at the lowest tier and I'm paying the most.
I thought it would be really funny to like splash water in people's mouths.
Okay, all right, moving on. Cloud is
are
brought
you?
to orgasm.
I want you. Do you have any friends? No, you don't.
Clear, moving on.
Yeah,
All right.
Cloud has been brought to orgasm, and he's very ashamed about it. But we're told that Madam M thinks, okay, yeah, I'm willing to like sponsor one of you to get into Corneo's mansion, but you're gonna need a freaking sweet dress. The only way we're gonna be able to afford that dress is for you to compete in the Coliseum matches.
She's
This
like
seems like a
lightly
scam.
negging Aerith here, right? Where she's like, "We can
Yeah.
get
The
you
whole
in,
time,
but
the
only
whole
with
time,
$1 million
yeah.
dress."
And I
Yeah.
love how she like flies off the handle whenever they start to flirt with each other. Like Aerith like starts to flirt with Cloud, and she's like, "You can take that right outside."
So I've got a question for you all here. There's 3 different dresses that you can get for Aerith. What is the variable that changes this outcome? Is it how well you do at the Coliseum?
No.
Oh.
The variable that changes this outfit is how many side quests you do in her neighborhood.
Yeah.
Oh. So I got the red flamenco dress. Is that good?
Yes, that's the best dress.
That's what I got too.
As did I.
Me 4.
What was the variable? Sorry, I was getting a text. What was it?
How many quests you complete in her neighborhood.
Oh, yeah, I did every single fucking quest.
Yeah, me too.
Why
'Cause
wouldn't
we're gaming
you?
professionals. Mm-hmm. Oh, I hate content, and I don't want it all.
These
I mean,
are side quests in
The
your
game
neighborhood.
barely lets you
In
take
your neighborhood.
control and play the game.
your
So the 2
neighborhood.
times it's done so far, it's not shocking that gamers are like, yeah, I'm going to do all this. And then it's like 6 side quests.
And they're mostly fetch quests.
Yeah.
There's some
Almost all
monster
of it was.
fighting. I like the monster fighting.
Yeah.
This game kind of sucks. Hey, I like how Aerith she looks kind of distinct to me from your typical JRPG protagonist. I don't know what it is. I've been having a hard time. She has like a longer face.
I
She
like
has a
how
smaller chest. That's what it is.
I do like how her face is inspired by the original, like, awful. I mean, I love the models, but like the original PS1 model, but like realistic. But it still kind of has the same proportions as her original face, with like the little pointy chin and everything.
She's like a little longer nose and a little longer chin than than Tifa, I guess. Tifa's the comparison, who has just the standard anime girlfriend face.
Tifa has a short face. She doesn't have the long face. Like
She's got more of a round face.
Yeah. Round.
So we go to the Coliseum.
Yeah.
Jim?
This was a whole thing. This whole Coliseum bit.
I thought it was pretty fun. I like the Coliseum.
They enter
Yeah, me
as a
too.
couple, and then they're like introduced as a couple, and they do great.
Yeah, I like all the rigmarole you get from the announcers who are like these who like start out like, I don't know who these people are, but it's gonna be fun to watch them get killed. And then
Yeah.
you fight that Beastmaster and you can beat that Beastmaster really quick, and they're like, whoa, who are these two?
I like how they neg them for like being on a terrible date at first. They're like,
Yeah.
yeah, they came here to get killed. What a horrible date.
I like that when you beat the Beastmaster, the crowd is legitimately like ready to come down and tear your fucking head off. They're so mad about it.
Yeah. I also like that if you go back in that waiting room between matches, you can talk to the people that you've just beat. Mm-hmm. Like the Beastmaster is sitting in there, and then the bandits are sitting in there.
The only time I liked the bandits is when you go back and talk to them and they're just sad. That was great.
I refuse to talk to the
buddies.
bandits. I want nothing to do with that whole goddamn thing.
The game thinks they're hilarious, though.
The game's wrong.
Yep.
There was one point where they made me laugh, which is you can sort of come across them after this Coliseum fight, just out in the wild, and they're like, "No, they're back!" They're very upset about it. I enjoyed that.
I don't think I said this last week, but in case I didn't, when you find them the first time before the Coliseum in the tunnels on the way to Wall Market, I just straight up skipped their dialogue. I was like, I could not fucking care less about this. 2 lines, and I was like, that's
On and
enough.
on.
That is enough. Fuck
My
you.
favorite thing about the Coliseum, though, is those Don Corneo drawings that show up on the big screen. The little anime, super deformed anime
yeah.
Don Corneo are so cute. I also really like how like Cloud has they somehow get this amazing stock photo of Cloud for his intro later.
I didn't notice that.
Yeah, me either. I'm gonna have to go check that
So we
out.
do
Yeah,
3
watch
fights.
the screen in the background.
We do 3 fights and we win them all, and then we're told it's over. We've won, and Madame M is thrilled because she's about to get her million gil. And then we're told, "Oops, Don Corneo's told us that we have to do a 4th fight." And he pulls out the
Watch
big
out.
guns.
You might get what you came for. cool, baby.
And it was
strange, but not a stranger.
A fun fight, right, Jim?
An ordinary
Yeah,
cloud.
I like this that they took this weird enemy
Burning
from
down the
the
house.
original and then
Yep.
made it like a full boss. Like this, everyone's like, I remember playing the original and it being kind of a running joke, like you're fighting a house. But yeah, the boss is Hell House, which is like a mechanical house.
Yeah, at first
predator.
it gives you the impression that it is like an alive house or something, and it like changes elements, and it's kind of a pain. And then once you get its health down, robo arms and legs and a robo head pop out, which I liked. I was like, oh, okay. It's like a robot dog. It's like a robot. It's not crab because it doesn't have pinchies. It's like a robot dog that's walking around in its doghouse.
Did any of
This-
you summon Shiva in this fight? Because I
did.
and it was fantastic.
She was fucking fantastic.
Yeah.
I don't
the,
like
the
Go ahead.
commentators get really horny for her.
Oh, do they?
They're like, she's nice on ice, the lady of cold, brash and bold. I wish she'd freeze my balls off. It's Shiva.
I don't like how
So-
the game only allows you to use summons in certain battles. Like,
Right.
that ain't Final
Yeah.
Fantasy VII, bud. And that's been a problem with a lot of modern Final Fantasies is that summons are so fucking powerful that they just don't know what to do. But
Right.
when they show up, it's a good time for everybody. Like, they're pretty great. Ifrit looks fantastic. Shiva's fantastic. You've got Chocobo and Mog. You've got Fat Chocobo, who's delightful. They're all fucking great.
Where do you get the Choco Mog materia again?
Didn't we?
Or is that
That
just
one
find
you
it?
have to get in.
That's the one
Under
behind
the
the fan,
plate.
the fan
Yeah.
blades.
Yeah.
Okay. And then there's also Carbuncle, right? Which I think is like an upgrade in the DLC or
How do you get that?
Yeah, I don't know.
Because I have the
saw
DLC.
Somebody in the comments on the Facebook page, I think, said that you just go into the system menu and look for like gifts, but I couldn't find it, so I don't know.
yeah, me either. I couldn't find it.
Maybe you have to do it from the title screen.
Maybe.
Yeah.
So this has brought me into a point I wanted to make because I did notice this this playthrough. The house fight will drag on forever if you don't have one of the magics to turn, to end its shield. So like, arrow to get rid of its lightning, for instance. That was a big problem for me because I'd equipped Cloud with lightning elemental on his sword, which had been good for the previous fights, but was really bad for this one. And it just dragged on forever. So what I have been doing now is as soon as I assess someone and see like, hey, I don't have the right materia setup, I've just back out of the fight, hit
Yeah.
start, back out of the fight, set them up correctly, and then go back in. And it makes it so much easier. I don't like that you can't swap it
Yeah, I
mid-fight.
agree.
I feel, why not? Why not?
Like, why
Yeah,
put you in this position?
agree.
You don't know ahead of time. You're constantly running into new enemies. Why not let me swap it on the fucking fly? It's not like they can't. They just won't.
Well, and
Yeah,
especially
they could use
too
the
when
ATB
like
dodge or something.
yeah, and
have
the
a
whole
punishment
like
for it.
the whole like first half of the game, it's rare that you have more than 2 party members, and there's only so many materia slots. So being able to respec mid fight would be amazing.
Yeah.
Also, it would be fun to be able to, sometimes you're fighting like robots and guards, and it would be nice to be able to kill the guards with your fire materia and then quickly use an ATB gauge to swap out for your lightning against the robots or whatever, Mm-hmm. But
Oh, so
instead-
you're saying that like it would use up an ATB
well, that's just an idea, but yeah, that's what
thing
John
to
said.
like to respec.
Yeah.
That's a
I mean, a lot of
idea. I
other
like that.
games have done similar things where you do have an option. For example, the Dragon Quest games do that, where you have an option. It uses
Like
your
using a
turn,
turn,
but
yeah.
you can swap your equipment mid-fight. Which makes sense. Like,
But
you
so that
can't
was my problem. I
pull a
should have
fucking
done
thing
that
out.
for this house fight instead of dragging it out for half an hour because it just makes me grumpy to play that long. Like, it's a cool fight, but it really requires you to have every single element materia.
Yeah,
equipped.
that's frustrating, and you don't want to have all of them because there's other good stuff. Like, you've got First Strike materia
Yeah.
at this point, and First Strike is fucking fantastic.
I never use it. I should probably try
That with the Whisperwind scarf will let you start every fight with a full gauge, or at least one full gauge. And particularly in Chapter 12 here, where I've got Magnify and Faraga. It was like a joke. I was just one-shotting every fight as it would start, and I would just Faraga, Magnify the whole fucking field for all the guards. They'd all just fucking die.
I tried to play chapter 12 of this chunker on hard today. And if you play a chapter on hard, it takes away your ability to use any items in and out of combat.
What?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so like I had been used to kind of spamming those high level spells that I have, and eventually I ran out. There's no way to refill your MP unless you sit at a bench. So like I had gotten up the plate and I had no MP left, and I was just getting murdered.
So I did. It
There's
keeps cutting.
benches all over that fucking chapter, though. Every other level has a bench.
Yeah.
Oh,
We'll
Does
talk
it? I
about it
didn't
when we
notice.
get there, but I noticed it because I kept
Yeah.
using them. I didn't really need to. I see one and I'm like, this costs me nothing.
Yeah.
You don't see Don Corneo in the audience, but you do see the big three. Like you see Madam M, you see Chocobo Sam, and then you see like the chin of Andrea. I don't know why they're keeping him a mystery.
Yeah, it's
Vanessa,
weird.
you have
I
any
don't
idea?
either.
Because when the reveal happens,
I
he's the plainest
liked
looking
it.
man.
I thought it was great. They really zoom in on his supple lips. You can see all his little lip creases, and he gives like a little thoughtful smirk. It was great.
He's very well manicured.
Everyone loves a little bit of mystery. That's what the Dance of the Seven Veils is all about.
Excuse me?
You know, the Dance of the
me?
Seven Veils.
Excuse me?
You know, the dance where the lady wears seven veils. And
So you do win. You burn down the house, and then so Aerith is going to go off with Madam M to get a makeover and a
glow
beautiful
up.
dress.
They glow her up.
This is when you can do some sweet Johnny side quests while Aerith is
Yeah.
getting made up.
Johnny runs into is like, "Whoa, Aerith!
I thought-
no, not Aerith. Tifa needs help."
It annoyed me that you ran into Johnny here because I told that dude to get the fuck out of town. And I was kind of mad that it didn't give me the option to just go ahead and cut his head off. Because I don't like Johnny and I want to kill him.
But don't you want to learn all about Johnny as you go to all these different side quests?
Sure
And all
don't.
these side quests are based on your materia levels.
Yeah, it's weird.
On
Yeah.
how you've leveled up your materia. I can tell you, I have never passed that one about the restaurant. I've played this
With the
game
cleansing
twice.
materia?
I failed that one. Well, I think it's not the cleansing one.
It's
That's the one
assess.
that's like lightning or
Oh.
fire.
it's-
Oh, that's a magic materia one.
Yeah.
What do you mean you don't pass? Because all it does is tell you to select your highest level magic materia.
And they're all level 2.
If they're all
And-
level 2, then I think you win regardless.
Well, I just that's the one where it's not the winning one. It's the one where you're trying to fix his kitchen, right?
I
And
know, but like whatever you pick, I think is the right
I didn't
answer.
win. I picked.
What do
I
you mean
picked
you didn't win?
I picked the wiring. I mean, he still gives you the item, but
Yeah.
Johnny got super sick.
Oh,
and-
really?
Yeah. So it wasn't good.
I think I picked
Does
the
that not happen either
fridge.
way? What happens if he doesn't get
No,
sick? Don't you still have to go to the pharmacy?
You still. I think. They're
Yeah,
like,
he still
oh, the
does get
pharmacy-
sick. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so let's walk this through. So you run into Johnny, and Johnny tells you that he is going to teach you all about wall market, right? He wants to have like a wall market night. But for some reason, I don't remember why you go to this clothes guy. And
Well, because Madam
do you
M.
go here?
Madam M. Oh, first
No, it's a Johnny
you talked to
quest.
Chocobo.
Johnny takes you
I
to the
thought it was-
bar because a friend of his has told him that he needs his dad to come back. But maybe that
The
is
clothes
tied
merchant.
to Aerith.
that's the clothes merchant.
Yeah.
You go and talk to the clothes merchant, and he's like, I need to get my dad back here because my dad is the one who's always the inspired one making great
Is
clothes.
it Madam M who tells you to go on these quests, or is it Chocobo Sam who tells you to go on these quests? One of
Maybe
the
it's
two.
Chocobo Sam, because Chocobo Sam is like, he wants you to learn about wall market, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
golly,
and I
I
think
missed
he-
a lot of these.
He tells you to go help out the.
Johnny. I didn't talk to
Really?
the clothes guy. Yeah.
Oh, that's a whole
Oh.
thing.
Yeah, so
especially
you
the
go-
clothes guy's like 5 different stages.
Yeah, so you talk to a clothes guy, and he's like, "Go get my dad." I like that the bar is just called Drunkards. And so he's like, "Go get my dad. He's at Drunkards. I need him to come back to the shop." And you go talk to him. This is kind of straight out of the original. The drunk father he's like, "I've lost my inspiration. I need you to get it back." So you agree to help him. And he's like, "I need you to go talk to the materia guy. The materia merchant has it."
Yep.
And so you run to go talk to the materia merchant, and he's just like this weirdo laying down in the middle of his shop.
Yeah.
And sorry, John, go ahead.
Oh, he's got that kind of like sort of, that sort of stereotype of like the Middle Eastern mysticism thing from like,
Yeah.
trashy pulp novels and stuff.
Yes, yeah. And he's like, "I'll help you out, but I need you to go get me the super secret drink from the hotel." And Johnny's like, "Are you talking about the sauce?" And he's like, "Stop talking about the sauce. Just go get
What
it."
is all that about?
I don't know. And so you go to the motel. I like if you talk to Johnny outside of the hotel, he'll say, "I wish I was here with Tifa, but I guess you'll have to do." And so I guess there's a secret vending machine in the hotel that you have to use your assess materia on. So
Now that one I've leveled up, so
yeah.
that was good.
So if you have your assess materia high enough, you can find the secret button. And you have to press the secret button 3 times, and each time it gives you a different thing. I think the first one is like a vital brew. The second one is like a crimson something or other. And then the third one is the sauce.
I looked at the items, the item descriptions, and the first 2 were like energy drinks. But the second one was, "This is a mysterious sauce," and it was like instead of showing the item, it was just clouds. You couldn't see. It was like a mysterious
weird.
fog. You couldn't look at the item. Vanessa, did you do any of this?
No.
What?
Oh, wow. You know
Wow.
This part cracked me up because you go to all this trouble to get the sauce, and you give it to the materia merchant, and he's like, "I don't have the thing that you needed."
It frustrated me. Why don't you then tell him to give you the shit back? Like, what are you kidding
Yeah.
me?
I want the
and
sauce
then-
back.
And then what do you do? What do you do after this? You
Then
have
he's
to
like,
go
"I
to
gave it to the guy
restaurant?
at the restaurant," and then the restaurant
Oh, yeah.
guy's like, "I don't have it. I gave it to the pharmacist," and then the pharmacist is like, "Hey, can you help me? I'll give you the inspiration back
if you make this delivery."
Yeah, and the first time I played it, I had enough cleansing. I'd leveled up the cleansing thing enough to do all 3, but this time I only had level 2, so I didn't get to complete that.
Wait, complete what?
The cleansing side quest of giving it to 3 different people.
Oh, I didn't know there were 3 different people.
Yep. There's 3, and one like the last one is the guy who's throwing up in that back alley. But there's another back
shit.
alley, but you can't unless you've assessed all 3. You can't help him if you don't have the level or not if the cleansing material up to level 3. It's a weird side quest.
Oh man, I'm gonna have to do that. I'm gonna go and level up my cleansing material really quick.
But the other 2 are the guy in the bathroom at Drunkards.
Yeah.
And there's a guy in the behind the Coliseum who's throwing up, and you can help him. I did those 2.
Oh, yeah. I saw those guys. I didn't know what
okay.
to do with them.
I need to do that then.
I managed to
well,
get
that's
all these.
interesting.
I
didn't
ran
know-
part
into
of
all
that
these
side
sick people
quest.
before I did this, so I was like, "Oh, I know
Yeah.
what to do. I know who to go talk to." There's one in the bathroom. There's one behind the bar, and there's one.
I think that like the status effect stuff kind of factors so little into combat for me. I
Yeah.
never feel the urge to equip any of the cleansing materials.
There's
or
a better one.
the
There's
dispels.
Ward. Ward is a better one because that just negates status effects from happening to you. So that's
You
a good
can
one to
learn
level up
Asuna, yeah, that's true. Yeah,
because then you just don't get it. And a lot of times you'll be put to sleep so many times in this game.
oh,
and-
especially in the sewers with those
Yeah.
puffer fish enemies, they'll put you to sleep constantly.
So, eventually the pharmacist will give you the inspiration, which turns out to be, and this is from a poker night that the guy had lost it, his VIP access card to the Honeybee Inn.
which, like, you learn in a second is totally worthless to anyone but this guy, because as soon as I so I got it from the pharmacist. The next thing to do is to go give it to the guy at the bar, but I went and tried to use it at the Honeybee Inn to see if I could just get in.
Yeah.
And the clerk tells you that because the card was not issued to you, then you cannot use it.
Oh.
So essentially, it's worthless as a betting chip in a poker game. Like, if
It's
nobody
like
else
a
can use it, why would you
Disneyland
want to bet
pass.
it? Yeah. So I just
Vanessa,
went and
did
gave
you
it back.
go behind the Honeybee Inn and talk to a certain character there?
I did. I met the proprietress of the Leaf House, or I guess one of the staff members.
Yep.
And her dream is to be a dancer. And so she goes at night and works at the Honeybee Inn. Mm-hmm. I actually enjoyed this a lot because I felt like it was not shaming her for having this dream, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, it's just what she wants to do, and it's fine. It's a totally appropriate and good job for an adult to have. She's just a little nervous about it because she doesn't want the kids to find out, I guess.
Right, yeah. I then went to I also got I got a bunch of songs for the sound tracks. I did get that guy's karaoke track about the living in Sector 7 or whatever.
Mm-hmm. I did do the thing where you can take those. Well, I guess that's later. Never mind.
Yeah. So you get the guy's inspiration. You give it to him. He's psyched to have his inspiration is actually the women at the Honeybee Inn, which I think is really funny. And you go talk to Chocobo Sam, and he's like, "Wow, doesn't it feel good to help people?" And he's like, "I've got another task for you. You need to go to the Coliseum." And this quest is called a Dynamite Body. And you go to the Coliseum, and it's just one pretty easy match where you have to fight two of those big bomb monsters, the fire bomb monsters. And then after that, you win.
Yay! Yeah, I
And
did that one.
Yeah, you talk to Chocobo Sam after, and he's like, he kind of talks Cloud up a little bit. He's like, "You've changed since you walked into this here town, for the better."
Vanessa, did you get this talk?
No, I didn't do any of this Chocobo Sam stuff.
Aw.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Chocobo
you can
Sam.
skip it.
Missed it.
You can skip it by going back and checking in on Aerith, and then it will end all that stuff.
Yeah, I did look around to make sure I had gotten like all of the exclamation points, but I guess I missed that one.
So we go. Where do we go next after this? Doesn't Johnny say he wants to go to Corneo's?
Yeah, he tries, but then backs away when he goes there. Like, he goes
Yeah.
up and then loses his nerve and runs away, basically.
Oh, okay, yeah. Cloud tries to take the admission letter right to Leslie before getting Aerith. And Leslie's like, and you're like, okay, let me in now. And he's like, no, this is good job on getting an admission recommendation or whatever, but this is only for women. And Cloud like goes to draw a sword, and he's like, are you sure you want to do that when Tifa's in there with the Dawn? And so you don't. And then when you leave, this is when you get the big Aerith reveal.
He says
Yes,
that
I
Don,
did get this part.
He says that Don Corneo, if you mess with Don Corneo will hurt someone, and it's not necessarily going to be you. Also, did we?
Yeah.
Excuse me. Did we not talk about the fucking gym?
They did not. They don't want to. Johnny told me he doesn't want to talk about the gym.
What?
He
I
thought
love
it
the
was
gym.
a pointless side quest.
It was
Just
fine.
full of bullshit mini games, and he's not into it.
I can't believe we didn't talk about the gym.
Yeah, one of
there's
the
the
quests
gym.
is to go to the gym and beat everybody at a squat contest.
This is awesome.
I mean, it's
I
pretty
know
easy to
there's
get into the
later
rhythm.
ones, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can come back later on, I think, as Tifa and do a pull-up contest, right?
That's hard as shit.
Jules's result can vary anything from 35 to 50. So it's really more of a random thing whether or not you win against him, unless you're really good, or them.
I think I did 52
Yeah.
against Jules.
I messed up the first time I did. I went against Jules, but the second time I legitimately hit like 55 or something. It was fucking crazy. I was in the zone.
This minigame is also very, very, very similar to the squat minigame that's in Crisis Core.
All right, voting update. Trails in the Sky still in the lead. Tied for second, Trials of Mana and Persona 2. Ooh, Trials of Mana doing a big comeback here. And tied for third, Wild Arms and Near Replicant / Gestalt.
Trails in the Sky is on Vita. I can't download it if I don't already have it, though, right?
No, I think you have to add money.
I think that's on
PS4
PC as well.
Yeah, John says it's on Steam.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I may
it's definitely on
already
Steam.
own it, actually.
I think I have
that
it.
out.
Yeah, I think it was $3 the other week.
What is the other Legend of Mana? For some reason, in one of Johnny's games, I was thinking that Legend of Mana was the answer, but I could not come up with Legend. And it was killing me.
I said Legend of Mana
You did.
tonight in one of the games.
Yeah, it was Vagrant Story.
Wow, John, this is a very fragmented vote so far.
Yep.
Every single entry has at least one vote.
Well, that's why
That's
he was
good.
doing a 2-tier vote, so that we can narrow down the top 4 and then do a real vote.
Yeah.
This is more
Yeah,
of a
it's
pick
just-
your darling vote.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. I like it.
Anyway, so what's up? We go back to see Aerith, right? And she's all glammed up.
Well, you go to leave Corneo's and you're stopped by, is it Johnny? And then
That's right.
There's like fireworks that start, and then Johnny rolls out a red carpet. And
The crowd gets
Aerith
real fucking handsy with Aerith. It's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're acting like she's a celebrity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And not just a woman
But
wearing
she
a dress.
does-
I mean, I get that I get she's glammed up, but come on, guys.
Yeah, we all talked about her, John called it a flamingo dress.
Flamenco.
Flamenco dress. And she looks great.
She does.
Her hair's
Yep.
done.
Her hair grows 4 times as long.
curls.
Well,
It's called extensions.
Yeah, extensions exist, Matthew.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I should just get
Because
some
we
from
don't want you to
my
know.
head.
Men can't learn our terrible secrets. They have to think we have naturally ruby red lips and long, luscious locks.
Oh, man.
I'm looking at all the different Aerith dress. Oh, wow. Some of them are rough.
Really?
Like one's just like a potato sack.
Oh, I want to get that one.
I think one is just like her normal dress, right?
One looks like her dress from the original, the pink one.
She has the pink dress in this one.
She wears like a really, really light pink dress with a red jacket. That's like her regular outfit, right?
Oh, John, you're not wrong. That first one, the short one is.
It's pretty bad.
I mean, it's not awful, but like, it's certainly not a. It's not a winning dress. Also, those sleeves are hideous.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Aerith is like, hey, before we go see Don Corneo, Madame M told me that Andrea Rodea has taken a shine to you, and he would like to meet with you at the Honeybee Inn.
I'd
So
like to
that's
meet
the
with
next stop.
him.
Yeah, this is where the game this is where I remember playing this when the game first came out, and I was so they went above and beyond any because I had heard that they were redoing this and they were going to be really positive about it, but it exceeded every expectation that I had, and it was so fun to watch and experience. So we go to the Honeybee Inn. We talk to the clerk. He says,
Wait, so Jim,
"Yeah,
so you got a pass. You can get into Honeybee Inn, but what I really want to go to is Haunted House.
I want to go to a haunted house more than I
I
want to
actually
go
want to go to
Honeybee
Haunted
Inn.
House more than I want to go to Honeybee Inn.
Your heart rate monitor just spiked. Are you at Haunted House?
I'm just gonna do a tour and see what's real.
I heard there's a trap door.
Vanessa is playing Disney Dreamlight Valley harder than she has ever played a game in her life.
It's true.
All right, so we go to Honeybee Inn, and the clerk says, "Oh, you must be Mr. Cloud." Andrea Rade, I like Cloud is taken aback at being called Mr. Cloud too, which I thought was funny. And the clerk is like,
Mr. First Name's kind of a weird. I wouldn't call you
Yeah.
Mr. Jim if you walked into my establishment.
so he says that
I would call
you're
you
supposed to wait
Representative
behind the
Banks.
stage.
We all know who you are.
Ew, no, ew, don't do that. So we go, and there's you can go straight ahead to the central corridor, which is where the game wants you to go, or you can check out the side doors. There are 4 alternative doors that you can go into. Did you guys check out any of these
I don't
doors?
think so. What's in there?
I checked
I
them
checked
all
out-
out.
Yeah, me
All
too.
of them. Yeah. One is Palmer getting chased around just like in the original game.
No, he's like doing the chasing, isn't he? Because she's
is
like,
that-
"Oh no, the bee." She's like, "Oh no, the beekeeper's here," and he runs around the room like twice, and then he stops because he's so winded.
Who's Palmer again?
Palmer is the head of the like space program.
Oh,
Shinra, the Shinra space
yeah,
program.
That's right.
He's the one
that's
that, that's there in Sid's little introduction in the original.
right. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I wonder if we'll get to say that we saw him at the Honeybee Inn.
Like when you meet Sid.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I can't wait to meet Sid. Sid when I was like a lot younger. Sid was my favorite Final Fantasy VII character.
And the other one was like Shinra middle manager. Wasn't he in one of the rooms?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's one who's watching a. She's watching a, like a honey. They call him honey. Is it honey girl or honey bees?
Honey
What do they call
boys
them?
and honey girls.
Okay, honey
Yeah.
girls. It's one of the honey girls, like waving her stinger, the stinger on her butt around. And if you walk up to her, she goes, "All right, what shape am I making?" And so the guy has to guess, and he's like, "A circle."
There was a guy getting, I guess, like a massage from one of the honey boys.
Yeah, that was funny.
I appreciated that inclusion.
Why is it
Yeah.
funny, Jim? Jim, explain
because
why it's funny.
Because the guy is moaning in ecstasy. Because like if you watch, the massage guy never actually puts his hand on the guy. Like
It's true.
his hands are hovering over him, and the guy's like, "Oh, that feels so good."
It's
It's
called
like
aura
Reiki.
massage. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very popular.
It sucks. Don't do it. I want a real massage. I want someone to destroy my muscles. I hate a weak massage.
Real massages are so good.
I want it to be just pummeled.
And there's one more, right? Or do we do all of them?
There was 2 rooms you can walk into and 2 you can peep in through. I don't remember what was in the other one. It was more of a guy and honeybee girls, right?
Let me look.
I can't remember the last one either. Oh, there's a dressing room.
Oh, that's
in
right.
there, and
And there's a honey girl in there, and she's like, "I think you're in the wrong room."
yeah, at first she said she's going to do your makeup, and then you're like, what? And
Yeah.
I wonder if she has an inkling of what's going to happen later.
Yeah.
Because
right,
Andrea,
so-
yep, you go ahead.
Yeah. So if we go where the game wants us to go, which is like this backstage area, a group of honey girls come up and they say you need to get ready to go on stage, and they ask if you would like to practice. Well, I think if you're not playing on New Game Plus, they tell you that you have to practice. But if you're playing on New Game Plus, you get the option to skip it, and you get a little minigame tutorial here. If you do well enough here, and I don't know what the threshold is, but if you do well enough, then you get a music track.
I think you have to get like
Ooh.
every perfect thing.
Yeah,
did
because
not
I
get
had to
that
do
music track.
because I had to do it twice. So I did it, and I think there's 28 total inputs. Maybe that's in the main game, but I got like 24 perfects and 2 goods, and I don't think I got it. And then I went back and did it again and got perfect on every single one, and I got it.
I did not. I got a bunch of perfects and like 5 goods, but like 2 misses. And that was,
same.
and I just was like, I'm not redoing this. It's a great scene, but the gameplay aspect of it kind of stinks. Like,
Yeah, I agree.
It really distracts. Like something else, I think.
I don't think it's the worst bullshit minigame we've ever done.
No,
I
it's
think
no.
It
fun.
kind of hides the input. That's the whole idea.
That's
for it
the thing. Is that
Yeah.
I wish the commands were in their own UI apart from the direction of the music number.
Yeah.
Because like sometimes when the camera would like swing around or
But that's
go
the
really
point.
close, it was hard to see exactly where the prompt was.
That's the challenge. That's the game, though.
But it's hard. But like you have to hit it when the little twinkle moves right
Yeah.
into this. But like being able to tell where that twinkle was in proximity to the command was very difficult in some parts.
Yeah, I think you're supposed to kind of judge like, okay, it's traveling at this speed. It's going to hit the twinkle. The twinkle's going to hit the command
Yeah.
at this point. So you're supposed to like guess
Yeah.
and have a good sense of that. But it's really difficult. I'm not.
Yeah,
good
it
at
can be. And I think my final result in the actual game, just talking about the game itself, not necessarily going into the number, but I think I ended up with like I can't remember how many inputs there are. I'm just gonna say 28 again, and I got 24 perfects, 2 goods, and 2 bads. I think was what I ended with, and I
So
did
what-
get Andrea's earrings, by the way.
Oh, I did not get those. So what you the actual big production number, Vanessa? Do you want to describe it or should Jim?
I don't know which one of us is most passionate about it. I guess me.
Yeah,
so,
go ahead.
The actual big production number. Here's what happens. Andrea says that he wants to help you, but he can't trust a man with no rhythm in his little footsies and no swivel in his little hips. So he challenges Cloud to a dance-off. Cloud, against all odds and in seeming conflict with his entire character and personality, is an excellent dancer. He's not quite as good as Andrea, but he's able to keep up, not even keep up, because sometimes he's doing the moves simultaneously with Andrea. It's not
Yeah.
only is he an excellent dancer, but he also knows this dance routine. So I'm thinking it must be like a traditional country dance that every villager grows up doing.
But there's so many different kinds of dances going on. Like they're doing like a mimic thing where Andrea is behind Cloud and they're doing the alternating arms thing, and that's happening, and then they're doing like a side-by-side synchronized dance, and that's also happening, and then like the music will drop and they'll go to a different song and start a new style of dance. It's very complicated.
Yeah, it's very complicated, and I was quite frustrated by the minigame because I just wanted to watch the dance.
Yeah.
I didn't want to watch the
Yeah,
prompt.
totally.
It really, the prompts are so often so far off from the main action. It's kind of frustrating. It's like, but I want to see the dance.
Yeah, and it's
Yeah.
not a rhythm game either. They just kind of randomly appear, and it's all visual.
They should give you the option at the end of this to rewatch your number. That would be fun. I would do
Yeah,
that.
that would be. So you do the dance, and then Andrea is sufficiently impressed. My favorite part, though, was that it cuts between each of the 3 phases to Aerith, and she either
Yes.
cheers you on or is like very disappointed in your performance so far.
I did get a Cloud. I didn't do great at this.
I like this that she, like in mine, she was getting progressively more excited to the point where it seemed like she was like, ah.
Yeah.
It was making me laugh.
So Cloud is shuffled into a throne-like chair.
He's like, well, doesn't the floor go down and then oh, no, the chair comes up.
Yeah, the chair
and then
comes
they
up.
put him in the chair.
Yep, it's a Taskmaster-esque throne. And he is surrounded by the honeybees, and a honey bro approaches him and is like, let's see what we can do with you. It's a very honey bro for the Cloud guy moment. And this is where the music continues to play, and then it cuts to Aerith, and she's like,
Yeah, I know. It was so great.
like so
I think
excited.
This is the part of the sequence where if this were a 90s movie, this would be an I'm Too Sexy montage.
And then the honeybees part, and who should emerge but beautiful Princess Cloud in his makeover outfit. What did y'all's makeover outfits look like?
I got the same one
I
I
have
got
the
last
black-
time, which was like I think it's a purple dress.
It's black and purple, right?
Yeah, that's what I got. The black and purple dress. That's the mid dress.
I got the full beautiful gown with the little tiara on
Oh,
top.
really? Why didn't I get the beautiful gown?
I don't know.
You didn't do well enough.
But wait, I thought I... No, wait, I did get that. No, wait, I didn't get that dress.
Yeah, I got the black and blue one. With where his hair is in little braids with pink bows.
Yeah.
He's got a little fascinator.
Fascinator?
So...
Yeah, he's got a little fascinator on. Here,
okay.
I put a picture in the group chat.
So to get the white dress, which is I think the one that Vanessa's talking about.
Yeah, I think
you
that's the
need to-
best one, right?
You need to say Tifa is great at handling the books. You need to ignore Johnny when he runs by you at the beginning of chapter 9.
Oh, wow.
Don't do the coin toss with Chocobo Sam. Get the luxury massage. Beat the Coliseum and complete 3 side quests for Madame M.
Huh.
Is that the one in the middle of the picture here?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
that's
what do you
the
have to
one I
do to
got.
get the black and purple one then?
To get that one, you need to say Tifa is in great shape. You need to
That's what I
follow
did.
Johnny and talk to him.
I did do that.
You need to complete Johnny's mini quests.
I did that.
You need to play Chocobo Sam's coin toss. Mm-hmm. You need to pick the cheapest hand massage from Madame M. This is probably more of like do most of these things.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I definitely went for full
Yeah.
on orgasm hand massage.
You need to beat the Coliseum, and you need to complete 3 side quests for Chocobo Sam. That's it. That's how you get the dress that all the boys got.
I thought Vanessa's dress would be sexier. It's got like a frilly neck thing and a little rose, and
It's
I
very
thought that was-
modest.
Yeah, it's not sexy. It's elegant, like a princess.
Yeah.
Oh,
It has
I
a
do-
full skirt. It has 3/4 length
bustle?
sleeves. It has a bustle. It has a rose right at the nape of the neck. It has a choker, and it has a little tiara.
well, it's not
I like-
for us to decide if this dress is sexy. You know who has to decide if this dress is sexy, right?
Chocobo Sam Elliott.
No, Don Corneo.
that's true. And I like that in the dress that I got, Cloud has a matching black bow to match the black dress. Although I don't think the bows in the pigtails go with the rest of the outfit. They're pink. The rest of the outfit is purple and mostly black. I just think the pink is not well advised there.
Yeah, it's true. At least none of us got the potato sack, which is more of
That's
like
true.
an Annabelle dress, right? Like he looks like
It
he's
is,
a
yeah.
haunted doll.
Yeah. So after this, we gain control of Aerith, and it cuts to the outside of the Honeybee Inn, and we're watching people exit the Honeybee Inn after the performance that we just saw, and we're wondering, like, where's Cloud? What's Cloud up to? And I guess he just kind of shuffles out among a crowd of people so he's not seen, and you can follow him, and he just goes to like this random corner and just stands there until you approach him.
Yeah. And I went to talk to him, and he said, "Don't say a word."
Yeah.
I did like, we should point out that before Cloud leaves, what's his name?
Andrea?
Andrea gives him one little piece of wisdom.
Yeah.
And that's, I don't want to get this quote wrong. Does anyone remember verbatim Burger Time what he says?
No,
I think it's something like, don't ever be afraid.
Well, he says that beauty is not a gendered concept, essentially.
Yeah. What is that quote? Let's look it up.
I also posted the 3 Tifa dresses in the group chat. I got the refined one is sluttier than I thought it would be.
Here it is.
Yeah.
True beauty is an expression of the heart, a thing without shame to which notions of gender don't apply.
Oh.
Right on.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
then,
and then he says,
I like
"Don't
that he
ever be
looks
afraid,
directly.
Cloud."
Yeah, he looks directly at Cloud, like right before the end of the number, and he says, "Don't ever be afraid, Cloud." Mm-hmm. I love that.
Me too. Yeah, and here are
Wonderful.
Tifa's dresses. You have a short sort
Wait,
of
we
club
haven't
dress.
seen Tifa yet. We haven't seen.
All
Tifa
right.
yet.
Okay. Well, you saw
So-
her briefly in the
Yeah.
in the wagon.
The
I saw her
game
wearing that
gives
dress.
you plenty of moments to look at both Aerith and Tifa again.
And Cloud.
Well, yeah, and Cloud too, but it's like especially Aerith and Tifa when we get to the manor. So Cloud is like Aerith is telling Cloud how beautiful he is. I like that. And so as you make your way to Don Corneo's mansion, I like how all the people on the street are being like, because like when you first meet with Aerith, you run down that same street to get to the Honeybee Inn, and people are all like, "Oh, who's that?" Like there's a couple there, and the woman is like, "Oh, are you looking at that beautiful girl that just walked by?" And then
like-
when you go by with Cloud, he's like, "Who's that hot woman?"
Yeah.
Did you hear? Did you hear his response? He's like, "Yeah, but I just wanted to like look to see that to recognize that you're much more beautiful than she is." Like, oof, that's a bad save. Did you talk to Chandler? Because I talked to Chandler, and then
His
Vanessa.
name is Chadley.
I
his
talked
name
to
is
Chandler,
Chadley.
and Vanessa got very upset by.
I'm very
by
upset by what happens if you
oh,
talk to
what?
him.
Are you saying that children shouldn't be exposed to drag queens? Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying
All
that
right, there,
children-
DeSantis.
Children shouldn't be so attracted to adults that they're unable to speak. Yeah, because you go talk
Yeah,
to
it was a
him
little
and he's
inappropriate.
like, Miss, the way you're staring at me. Oh,
I mean, he's a
I can't-
teen
I-
at least,
I
right?
can't- yeah, he's like, I can't deal with these brought up emotions. And so you know it's going to be like a Dean Pelton, I hope this doesn't awaken anything in me moment.
Yeah, Cloud walks primly around the neighborhood, and you finally make your way to Don Corneo's, and Lindsay is at the door and kind of looks at both Cloud and Aerith and is just like, "Are you serious?" And they're like,
And he's like, "I hope you know what you're doing."
yeah.
She does not recognize Cloud at first.
I feel like he did recognize Cloud.
He does eventually, for sure.
Are we talking about Tifa still?
No, we're talking about Lindsay.
Leslie.
Leslie.
Yeah, Leslie. He recognizes Cloud. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and so he lets you in. You can't really go anywhere here except for the room that they want you to go in.
It's a lot like the original game.
Yeah.
It's like the exact same layout and everything.
Yeah, I don't remember this from the original. I'm sure maybe it happened, but when you get in this room, they gas you.
Yeah.
Does that happen in the first
Yeah,
one?
because you end up in that dungeon.
That weird dungeon. thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, they essentially
But like,
roofie
why
them.
would they do? Why would they do this to you? Like, what happens to you doesn't make sense. So, like,
No.
they gassed you, I guess, to move you to an adjacent room, and then just buzz you on the intercom for you to leave the adjacent room when it's time. Why take you there at
Yeah,
all?
it doesn't
I don't
make any
know.
fucking
I
sense.
think 'cause
You're
it was
there
in the
willingly
original
or
game.
semi-willingly.
Yeah, yeah.
I think it's just to like, it's part of the kinky sex games, They knock 'em
There's a
out,
lot
you put 'em
of
in the
sexy stuff
dungeon.
in the sex dungeon.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
It's also just a lot of
Speaking of
trash,
game.
though. Like, they started using it
Yeah,
for
it's like a
storage.
storage room. Yeah,
sexy storage.
which is
Would
why
you
they
like to see
stored
my
sexy Tifa
sexy
there.
Yeah. Now we can talk about Tifa's 3 dresses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we all got different ones here. Except I think there must have been a double up.
Yeah, I chose sporty. I suggested she wear something sporty because I wanted her to represent herself and not feel like she had to be a different person. So she dressed like Chun-Li. She has a boob window cut out. She has like a mandarin collar dress. She has lace stockings on, like fishnet stockings with a lace end bit. And she has 2 buns in her hair.
I think this is my favorite of the dresses. I really like the shiny silkiness of the dress.
Yeah, it's like a leopard print or a jaguar print dress in black and gray.
It's a good dress.
What dress did you get?
What I got.
Jim.
I got the kimono. I said something exotic. So she's wearing a very short kimono, long sleeves, with thigh-high socks and kind of like mid-length boots. She's got a headband on that's got some pink flowers on it. The kimono itself has a little waistband that's got some bows hanging from it. It looks really nice. I like this dress a lot.
Yeah, that's what I got as well.
Reminds you a bit of the Kunimitsu outfit from Tekken,
Oh, yeah.
except without the
that.
fox mask.
Did anybody get the like party dress?
I sure did.
Hey.
I got the I guess you call it like a cocktail dress, right?
Yeah.
It's very short, purple. I just think it's kind of blah. It doesn't have it looks like it's not couture. It's off the rack. You know, you don't bring something you get at H&M to Corneo's house. You know, we're supposed to be elevating our looks here. And I am so angry at Tifa bringing this basic look. I can't even speak.
It's not even on trend for when this game came out because maximalism in clothing was out in 2020. Minimalism is in.
So, I didn't realize this until this last playthrough, but I guess each of the trio gets one recommendation every time Corneo has an audition. So, Tifa is Sam's pick because she was in his cart. That's where we first saw her. Madame M is Aerith's pick because she bought her dress and made her over. And Cloud is Andrea Rodea's pick because, you know, we had the whole number and everything. So I didn't, for some reason, that detail never clicked with me before this last playthrough.
Did Cloud, I guess we'll talk, right? So we all go up to see Don Corneo. And he gets to see
John
his
Corneo?
Don Corneo. He gets to see his 3 lovely ladies to be his temporary bride. Did any of you not get picked as Cloud?
Is that possible?
I don't think it's possible.
I believe. Oh, really?
I don't think it is either, yeah.
Oh, I want it to be like the old game.
Because otherwise you wouldn't get the girl power scene that happens right after this.
It's true. I did like that girl power scene.
Girl power empowering girls.
Although Tifa kicking that debris that was about to fall on my soft boy was a real good girl power scene as well.
Yeah, that was cool. You're talking about at the plate?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was super cool. So he picks Cloud and then tells his henchmen that they can do whatever they want with the leftovers.
Gross.
And so you get taken to another room, and Tifa and Aerith proceed to beat the shit out of these guys. and it's cool because like Tifa, you know, like does her ninja moves on a couple of them. Aerith trips one guy by like pulling out his footing and then bashes him over the head with a chair, which is pretty funny.
It's a real wrestling move.
Yeah.
I think it would have been funny if like one of them comes up to Aerith and then she sets one of them on fire and just see his skin like melt off his face and he's screaming in agony.
But she doesn't have any of her materia.
Or you cast Blizzard on him, and then he just explodes into bloody frozen chunks.
Like Jason X.
Yeah. Or Sub-Zero in Mortal Kombat.
It's not that kind of game, lads.
Could be.
Or you cast Wind on him, and all of his skin gets pulled apart. Just left a skeleton.
Ooh. It's gross and you guys are gross.
All right. So Don Corneo's trying to seduce Cloud. Cloud is not playing into it. You don't get the option of like flirting back like you do in the old game, which is too bad. I like
Yeah.
that part.
I do like that Cloud like refuses to engage with him and just calls him like a disgusting asshole.
Yeah, but he
Yeah,
seems to
but
get
he's
off
into
on it,
that.
so. Ugh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's really into being talked to that way. And he keeps like randomly taking pictures without Cloud's consent. He keeps like snapping this little
He's got that
remote
little
thing,
Bluetooth.
Yeah.
I got one of those.
like a remote shutter thing.
Yeah.
What do you use yours for, John?
Anyway, so Tifa and Aerith come in.
Yeah, they're here to rescue Cloud. Well, right before they come in, Corneo is so worked up that he lunges across the bed towards Cloud, and Cloud turns around and kicks him in the chest back onto the bed.
Yeah.
And he is not into that. You can...
No, he calls you a bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wh-
He wants the goons to attack her.
Yeah. Like, come in and take care of this B word.
So
And,
he's into, like, verbal negging, but not impact play. And that's totally
Right.
fine. But they should have
Well,
had that conversation before
I
they
think
got into the
Corneo's-
bedroom.
yeah.
Corneo's overall concept of consent is the problem here. I wouldn't
Yeah.
peg this on Cloud.
I guess that's true.
So he calls for his henchman, and who appears, but oh wait, we should say that when Aerith and Tifa beat up those guys, after they're finished, Leslie appears, and he says that one of the trio, I can't remember who, maybe it's Madam M, says you guys might need some help. I have your gear. He's got a bag with Tifa and Aerith stuff in it, and Cloud's big old sword, and he lays them on the floor, and he says, "Good luck."
Yeah, and when they bring Cloud's gear to him, Cloud changes in front of Don Corneo, and Corneo is like rubbing his hands together, like, let's see it. And Cloud changes and then is in his outfit, and Corneo's like, so you're a man. But he doesn't seem that upset about it.
No, in fact, it's kind of, he seems angrier that he's been deceived than he does about Cloud being a guy.
Yeah, I think that canonically, it's safe to say at this point that everyone in this game is bisexual.
Yeah, I agree. I was wondering too, like, what would he have done if Cloud would have just shown up in his regular, or like maybe like a tuxedo?
Yeah, maybe he would. Well, it does say that it's only girls that he.
Yeah, Leslie does say it's only women.
Yeah.
Interesting. So I like that they left the dialogue from the original in, where each character threatens Corneo with a different way of destroying his testicles.
Yeah.
Like one character says, "Tell us what you mean, or I'll rip them off." And then the one is like, "Tell me what you mean, or I'll stomp them." And then someone, I think Cloud is like, "I'll cut them off." And he says that, so basically the whole reason that we're here is because those guys that asked you about the man with the gun arm, like way back in chapter 3, you never really knew who they worked for. They were wearing vests with like a weird symbol on it. You find that's Corneo's symbol. Corneo was looking for Avalanche, and Tifa wanted to know why. So that's the whole reason we're here. So we decided to ask him about it. And he says that Shinra is planning essentially like a false flag event where they drop the Sector 7 plate on the Sector 7 slums, destroying the entirety of Sector 7, and they plan to blame the whole thing on Avalanche, which is kind of a win-win for them because they get Avalanche to take the blame for it, and they get to kind of restart the war with Wutai because they've already established that Avalanche is in with Wutai.
I think it's a terrible plan. Why would anyone believe that Avalanche would drop a plate on the people they're trying to help?
Well, they've already had that huge explosion from the beginning that injured multiple, like a ton of people in Sector
that's
1 or
true.
5 or whatever. And,
Thanks, Jesse.
yeah, and Shinra has kind of turned public opinion against them by saying they're affiliated with Wutai.
Yeah, that's true as well. Good points, Jim.
Yeah.
But that's not the real reason that they're doing this, right? Don't we know the real reason? Aren't they like trying to kill as many people as possible for some reason?
That's a good point. I don't understand why they would want to kill anybody. Like, I don't know how that benefits them.
Doesn't that tie into Shinra's plan with the Ancient
Does
to
it?
like open the door to the other realm or whatever the fuck they're trying to do? I don't really.
Well, they're trying to find the promised land. That's what they want to do. So yeah, that's Shinra's plan, whether it makes any sense or not. Maybe we'll find out more.
Quick aside question: Is the sequel to this called Final Fantasy VII Rebirth?
It is.
Why?
Because it's gonna be a totally new story.
I thought
Yeah.
it was Reunion.
No, Reunion is
This
the
one's
No, it's a
Reunion,
rebirth.
The next one's Rebirth.
Reunion's Crisis Core.
Isn't Reunion all of the games as like one long thing that still hasn't come out?
I think isn't the Crisis Core remake called Crisis Core Reunion? I believe it
I don't
is.
think so.
It's sitting on my PlayStation right now. I can check.
You know what I would call a rebirth? Someone who you think was going to get stabbed and die, but doesn't.
Yeah, it is. Crisis Core Final Fantasy VII Reunion.
Vanessa.
What? Yeah.
Don't say that.
Okay.
That's could be interpreted as a spoiler.
Jim, I just answered the question. Let's move on.
Okay.
Move on.
Move on. Okay, so Don Corneo is like, "Why do you think I would even bother telling you this?" And you get three choices. It's pretty obvious which one to pick. I think this is even from the original too. But the answer is because you already know you've won, and he says, "Yep," and then he drops you right into the sewer.
Rude.
Classic
No,
trapdoor.
this is
No,
Corneo.
it's not rude. It's Don
Rude is
Corneo.
later. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
All right, so we get down into the sewer, and there's a big monster in there, big boss.
Yeah.
At least I was able to complete the stagger something to 200 mission immediately when I got Tifa back because I beat the shit out of this thing.
Yeah, this is Abzu. This is like a mutant that lives in the sewer. I also want to say there's another music track right before this. When you're in Corneo's dungeon, you can check the jukebox and buy a music track from here.
I did get that one.
Also, I don't know if you guys noticed this, but in this room, Tifa and Aerith will both move to different sides of the room and just do a series of animations where they pose in their dress.
Oh,
Like,
wow.
They'll both giggle and do like the hee 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 thing, and then Tifa will go, "No, like you don't like it," and she like moves her arms out, and she can like turns, and you can see her dress.
Oh, wow.
And then Aerith will do similar stuff, but they just do it in a repeating.
I thought you were talking
thing.
about the sewer because in the sewer they're both passed out, and then they're it's the choice of who do you talk to first. I tried to talk to neither of them, so I go on a date with Barrett, but that doesn't seem to work.
I don't know what this affects. What does this affect later in the game?
Don't know.
Yeah, I'm not.
Presumably,
remember.
I guess, who you go on a date with.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, is there a date later? I don't think
Well,
there is.
Vanessa hasn't played this before.
Yeah,
But she
Yeah,
knows
I
that
guess
this
it's true.
doesn't go all the way to the casino.
Gold saucer. Yeah.
Vanessa
I
doesn't
do
know
know that.
anything.
Vanessa know nothing. Well, I'm guessing that your save file from the first one will carry
Yeah,
through
I
to
would
part
assume
two.
that, but who knows?
Yeah.
That's true.
Who did
They
you
might
choose?
sell it as like a separate game.
Tifa, of course.
Tifa, me too.
Ariel.
Wow.
Aerith.
Odd man out, Johnny. Why'd you choose Aerith?
Yep. Oh, I like her better.
I felt like Tifa would be a better ally if I had to fight with someone by my side before the other one woke up, which I imagined could be a possibility.
I just kind of figured in the moment, you've been with Aerith for like 2 days at this point. Tifa's probably the one that Cloud's going to be like, oh shit, are you okay? I have barely had a chance to talk to you.
Yeah, the whole point of this was to save Tifa, so save Tifa.
So we pick one of them, score some brownie points, beat Abzu, and then this whole dungeon is just making your way to the other end of the sewer.
You know that it's not even a JRPG, just an RPG dungeon because it uses the term sluice gate.
Sluice
Sluice
Gate.
Gate?
And the only time I've ever encountered that word is in an RPG dungeon.
They mention Sluice Gate in Uncharted 4.
I haven't played that game, sir.
You never played Uncharted 4?
No, I have
Tony
not.
doesn't like Uncharted.
I'm okay with, I haven't played 3 either. I finished the first 2.
Uncharted 3, you could take it or leave it. Uncharted 4, real good.
Agree.
I've tried to play that game twice and can't get into it. So we defeat Abzu, and then Tifa's freaking out about what we just learned about how they're going to drop the plate.
Oh, yeah. You have a weird conversation where you're like, do we think that Corneo's telling the truth? And then Cloud is like, is he the kind of guy who would make up stuff just to mess with you? And you're like, yes. But they're like, well, it's probably best to assume that he was telling the truth.
Yeah.
And let's go check it out, which
And
is where they eventually land.
You've already seen Aerith have a vision about it. So
Yeah.
but she doesn't mention that. She doesn't say
No.
anything about her visions.
No,
Well,
and
she's
in
hiding.
the sewer,
She's hiding what she is.
she's hiding something. And
Yeah,
in the
she's like, I keep my visions to myself.
But in the sewer, you get a conversation between Aerith and Tifa where Aerith hints that she knows more than she's letting on. And Tifa goes, Aerith, what do you know? And then their conversation gets interrupted. They never bring it up again.
They have a moment where you're like, there's some traversal, not really puzzles here, but some traversal stuff where you have to turn power on. And you get a moment where Aerith wants to, where Tifa takes Aerith aside and tells Cloud to stay with like the power button while they go work the pumps. And Cloud is like, I should go. And they're like, no. So I was like, okay, they're going to have a talk. But no, it just makes you play a dumb mini game. And I guess wanted to have the two girls doing it.
Yeah, I mean, it's so you'll notice that Jim's ABX heart monitor was going really spiking.
Let's just say I was not. Let's just say I was not at Club Haunted House.
Because their mini game is working a crank.
Yeah,
I was
and-
not good at this mini
No,
game.
it was not fun.
I didn't understand how it worked at first.
You gotta make that thing. You have to mash on that one button to get the range, and then
You gotta,
stop
like-
it better.
You gotta like prime the valve and then have Tifa hit this pressure gauge thing a bunch of times, and then when the pressure releases, close the valve at the right time.
Do you ever see the video for Benny Benassi's Satisfaction? It's basically that.
Yeah.
What?
Do you remember that
Yeah.
video? All the
Oh yeah.
you can't see my actions because my camera's off, but like sexy girls working heavy equipment is the gist
yeah.
of it.
So what else happens in the sewers?
Nothing. Moving on.
Yep.
Tifa and Aerith
So-
like chat some. They kind of like hang out and get to know each other a little. They clearly
Yeah.
like they kind of become instant best friends, which is all
Yeah.
right. It's fun.
Well,
Tifa
I mean,
doesn't
all
fuck
Tifa
up
had
her high
before
five. That's
is
for sure.
Jess, like Tifa has Jessie, but I feel like Jessie doesn't feel like a good friend because Jessie will hit on your boyfriend like the second you start.
Well,
dating.
and Jessie seems like the type of friend that's got a lot of friends and like doesn't really have time for you. And you're like, but you're my only friend. And Jessie's just kind of like, but I got my roommates. Like I'm busy. And also,
It's true.
I'll blow up a reactor and you won't.
So you head out of the sewers. There's kind of a boss fight in the sewers, but it's just like a fight with a bunch of like fish, right?
Yeah.
Fishmen. And,
Yeah, a bunch of those. Matt, they're in
Samhains?
Baldur's Gate too.
Yeah, I think they're like a Welsh or Irish monster, fish monster.
They're like turtles.
They're like turtle men.
Rah rah rah.
They're like, it's almost like they're teenagers that are mutants and also ninjas.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I didn't get the impression they were teenagers at all. I don't know where you're getting that from.
Well, they're like
they do have
scrawny and gawky.
tridents. So I felt kind of bad killing them because they seem like they could develop. They have tool use and stuff. Like,
Okay, but you're killing Shinra soldiers left and right. And Don Corneo's men.
yeah,
Though
that's
they
true.
all had it
That's
coming.
true. Yeah, he had it coming. Oh yeah, speaking of, Jim, what did you think of that Kingdom Hearts video I sent you? The montage.
Oh yeah, I've actually watched that video before.
I like Super Butter Buns. It was a Super Butter
Yeah.
Buns video, and she does a whole like 1 minute montage to the Chicago song "He
Yeah.
Had It Coming." And did you understand all the references?
Some of them, most of them.
Because it was like Xenohort. It's about killing Xenohort.
Yes. By the way, the enemy we were just talking about is called the Sahagin. Mm-hmm. And it's like a turtle man with like fuzzy shoulders and a snake head.
Oh,
And
interesting.
they have pitchforks.
So we leave the
neat.
sewers, we start chapter 11, and we get what I felt like was the most fucking egregious bullshit obstacle that has been put in our way so far. The train station. Excuse me, the train graveyard.
The train.
Yes,
You
Train
recall earlier in the
graveyard.
game, Marlene told us a creepy little rhyme about the train graveyard and how kids go in and never come out. And we find a bunch of ghosts. This is pretty fun because Tifa, who's all kick-ass, and several times is, like when they were busting out from Don Corneo's men, Aerith was helping, but Tifa was the muscle there. But now we get kind of a reversal of roles as Tifa is scared of the ghosts. And Aerith is just kind of like, what's up, little ghosts? Let's be buddies.
Yeah, she is not bothered.
These ghosts are annoying to fight.
Now, I thought especially the first time I played this, the sewer mission was a big waste of time, and it felt like, because they were like, we have to get back. He's going to drop the plate. He's going to kill all these people. We have to go. And then let's do 45 minutes to an hour of sewer time. All right, we're out of the sewer. Now let's go. But now you've got, so this is based on one puzzle and some ghost enemies and a chariot enemy that you fight in the train graveyard for about 3 minutes in the original game. They've stretched out to an hour
yeah.
and a half.
It's real
Yeah,
obnoxious.
And
in the
the
original
last
game,
20 minutes is the worst part.
in the original game, the horse like death boss guy was just a regular enemy. It wasn't even a boss encounter. So they gave like the Hell House treatment.
So we have to make our way
did.
first through the outside of the train graveyard and then into the train station itself. The ghosts are kind of messing with us, but some of them are kind of helping us, and we're getting lots of like ghost graffiti and whispers and yada yada yada.
And they seem like kids. They don't seem that mean-spirited. Some of them want to aggressively play. It's like your cat when your cat's like playing a little too hard and biting and clawing
Yeah.
you.
That's what my cat always does.
But they don't
That's
seem
just
to
their
be.
nature.
They're a little spooky, but they're not malicious.
I
Yeah.
agree.
Yeah.
I did at one point sort of go down a little alley and found a chest, and it just had one gill in it, and then graffiti appeared that said "wrong way," haha. And I was like, "That's a little."
I didn't
rude."
find that.
I was excited for the chest.
Aww. So
You get a little mini
make
boss
your
in the
way-
train station that's like a big ghost.
This is
Yeah.
this is a boss. It's called the Ghoul.
Well, then you get two bosses in a row because you get this and then
Yes.
you
You
get
do.
the other one like 30 minutes later. Really just
found the
fucking
ghoul was
padding it out, guys. We can tell.
Yep. It's so unnecessary. So basically, you go from the train graveyard to this like train storage warehouse. You're trying to get through, but they block your access to the other side. You go upstairs. You fight this big ghoul. After you see like a little girl there, but she's scared of another ghost, and you find out the other ghost is actually a boy who just wanted to play, but he wanted to play a little harder.
Is
And
that
he
what
enjoyed
happened?
fighting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't that the fight you get? And then after that big boss fight, it's like, oh, he said thank you for playing. That was fun.
Oh,
After
that's
you defeat
right.
that boss.
Yep.
And
That's
so we-
not the chariot.
We get out of the train yard or whatever, or out of the station and into like a full-blown like old trains yard. And this is where they just took that puzzle from the first game and make you do it 6 fucking times. Move a train to move some stuff around and then circle back around and do it all again.
Yeah, but it's not even a puzzle because it's a totally linear path.
Yeah, yes, absolutely.
You don't get to control which way the trains go. And each time you get this really long cutscene of Cloud by the train, like switching the switch of the train, and then the train moves, and then you have a new path.
And then eventually you fight it cuts back to Marlene saying, "Oh yeah, my friend Betty said that there was this ghost that steals kids," and then that ghost tries to steal Aerith.
Yeah, they like
And she gets some
kidnap her
weird
up.
flashbacks because she's got some baggage about the train station that we won't get into now.
Does
Yeah,
she?
she is like surrounded by kids playing hide and seek, and then she tries to join in, but she's a little girl now, and she keeps saying, "I'm ready, come find me," and nobody comes for her. But then she's broken out of her reverie by Tifa and Cloud, who do come to find her.
We also see like a ghost Marlene.
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
weird.
that
I
was
didn't
interesting.
get that there was a little Aerith here. I'm a little confused, but I
There
guess it
was a
doesn't
little
matter.
Aerith, and she starts sobbing, which is sort of a flashback to something that happened to her as a kid.
Okay.
I thought it was like her, just like being lonely as a kid.
Well, yeah, I think that's part of it. And I also this is where her mom died.
Oh, that's right. That's where Afalna died.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember.
Yeah. Spoiler. Hashtag.
Spoiler.
So then we have to fight this. What's it called? Like a Hellgast or something like that?
Eligor.
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 It's fine.
And this is actually, I thought this was one of the better boss fights because it's about
too.
positioning. You can't hit it from the sides because its wheels are electrified and will stun you. But if you hit it from the front or back, you will do damage.
Yeah, and you can cripple the wheels.
Yeah.
Which will affect its mobility. That's a cool mechanic.
This boss fight was fine. I liked it.
Yeah.
It just kind of caps off a frustrating part of the game that really feels like it's fucking spinning its wheels trying to pad on an extra dungeon.
Yeah.
When you're,
Especially, you're in a hurry. And I hate, this is going to be my squarely again, so I'll talk about it then.
everybody's fucking yawning it up. So let's finish this puppy off. God, all three of you just yawned. Fighting it.
I didn't
I didn't
yawn.
fight-
I've
didn't
never
yawn.
yawned.
I haven't yawned. Okay, so you get out of the train graveyard and you immediately see that there's explosions and stuff happening, and you see fighting happening. You cut to Biggs and Wedge. They're fighting for their lives out on this pillar, and then they run for 5 seconds and then stop, and they're like, that looks bad. Yes, this does look bad. We should probably go to that pillar. We should
There's,
go to that pillar.
There's a great little cutscene that you get here where it shows these other, presumably Avalanche fighters, fighting the Shinra guys. And it cuts to one of them in particular, not a named character, but he's like desperate. You can tell he's kind of on the ropes. And then he just moves out, points his gun at Shinra and goes, like fascist assholes, and starts shooting at them. I thought that was pretty good, but then he dies.
And how come Barrett's gun does nothing against those helicopters?
How come Barrett's
it does
gun
nothing?
never
Literally
runs
nothing.
out of ammo? What does he load that thing with?
I have a theory about this.
Ooh.
Ooh.
I think that it is drawing from Barrett himself.
Shooting
and
his
I was
bones?
trying to think.
That's what I was going to say,
well-
shooting his bones.
At first, I thought it was bones, but I'm like, no, that can't be it because he doesn't have an infinite amount of bone.
Daddy's cummies.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. It has to be like a replenishable, just any of his bodily fluid, really, like his blood, his spit,
Poops.
his poo. Oh, it's probably his poop. You're absolutely right, Johnny. What do we produce more of than poop? Nothing, except for urine and probably saliva. I don't know.
I have a lot
haven't
of
done
dead
the math.
skin. I have a lot of dead skin.
Oh yeah, maybe it's his dead skin.
Maybe he has like an ammo materia.
Yeah.
He doesn't
magic.
though, because I
A
can
wizard
see his
did it.
materia.
Yeah, I think it's that he's drawing from his own body and shooting his own bodily waste, which I guess
His ammo material is part of his headband, just like Aerith's.
yeah. So the reason his bullets don't take down the helicopter is because it just drops
Well-
lots of pee.
Hold on, is it like, doesn't he say because like you can only fire his gun for a limited amount of time and then he does like the big blast thing? Don't you get like doesn't he say, I'm reloading when that happens?
No, he says, "Oh, need to drink."
Well, when you're that charge thing, he does say something about it when you hit mash that charge button.
That's
For the
recharge?
overload shot there. So,
He's
you
like,
are
"I'm so
slowly making.
close.
You're like
Here comes the
slowly
hope.
moseying. It's sort of a trundle, like a light walk, maybe a brisk sprint. They aren't really, but they get interrupted anyways from some spirits. Another spirit fight. They don't want them touching that pillar.
You mean the enigmatic
Whispers.
specters?
Yeah. The enigmatic specters do not want them to reach this pillar and will fight them for it. But then suddenly they're like, you know what? It's fine. They just
Hey,
give
John.
up. Yeah?
Do any of these specters ever pop out of the fucking wall and just have like a big messy shit?
So
That's season 2, Jim.
Yeah,
we're on to
we're on
season
season
3
It's
now.
true. It's true.
Well, I guess that's it for this episode. Square
that's the center limit.
Next time, we'll head to the pillar. Is it going to come
Nope.
down? Is it going to stay up?
We can. There's not much to the pillar.
No, there's not. So Cloud makes his way up, and at first
Wedge falls.
Wedge
He gets
falls.
an owie. He gets a little.
gets an
He needs a couple of band-aids.
I want to like Wedge, and there's been moments where I've liked him in this, but everything that happens here is fucking awful. All this Wedge
He
stuff
does
is
talk
terrible.
the guards into letting people escape from Sector
But
5.
it's so fucking
My
that's
biggest-
Sector
like
7.
My biggest problem with Wedge is the voice actor. I think he gives a good performance, but the voice just doesn't match the character for me.
So just to-
it's always
I like it.
disorienting when he talks. I don't know.
So just to be clear, what happens here is Cloud leaves Tifa and Aerith with Wedge, who has fallen and is injured, and heads up. And then he gets pinned down by Reno and Rude, who are in a helicopter with a Gatling gun, and pin him behind some metal, some like steel girders or something. And then we cut back down to Aerith and Tifa, and we take control of Aerith. And this was kind of like the train station for me, just the worst fucking thing they could have done. Just give me a fucking break. Tifa has to go
Because
help.
She's got to go get Marlene.
Tifa wants to go in and help, so she runs up the tower after Cloud. Aerith and Wedge leave. Tifa asks Aerith to go get Wedge, or to go get Marlene. And
Marlene,
Wedge runs up to some Shinra guards blocking a fence and is like, "Open the fence, please." And they knock him to the ground, and then he, I don't know, sits there and cries for a minute, and then gets up.
No, he gives like an anime speech.
Yeah, he gets up and he gets right in their faces and goes like, "Arr!" And it was, this for me is where I was like, this is
Silly.
bad. This is not good.
He's like, I don't want to. He's like, I don't know if everything I've done in my life is right, but I don't want to have any regrets about tonight. And it inspires this Shinra guard to then open the gate.
Please, these people are gonna die.
My soft boy found his courage.
Yeah, this is 100% like a solid all cops aren't bad spot in this game, and I didn't like it. I did not appreciate it. It was bad. And then you do as Aerith, you like walk through Sector 7. A helicopter spins that she gets to 7th Heaven. A helicopter falls out of the ground and lands in front of her, blocking her way. And you're like, all right, well, I'll just circle around. And then like another explosion blocks her way. She talks to, what's the older lady's name?
Marl.
Marl.
And they have like a moment, which is real weird, where Marl's like, you must be Avalanche. And she's like, no, I'm just a friend. Okay, who
She
cares?
finds some other little girl and
Yeah.
brings her tomorrow.
And it
It's
forces
bad.
you to
Marl's
like
slow
that.
walk.
Yeah. And she
the other
doesn't
little girl
ask
is
that little
Marlene's
girl
friend.
if she's Marlene, which
No.
Aerith doesn't know what Marlene looks
Yeah.
like.
And I thought
Yeah.
it was Marlene because Betty looks a
look
lot like
very
Marlene.
much
Aerith
alike,
seems
yeah.
to know who all of these people are. At this
That's
point,
true.
she's
Yeah,
not
that's
really
true.
hiding the fact that she knows who Marlene is, she knows who Barrett is, she knows the relationships between these people. At no point do I recall anybody telling Aerith that Marlene's father is Barrett, but Aerith definitely knows it. Anyway, after
But
this...
Aerith fucks with reality here in a weird way. After she dodges all those exploding helicopters, gets inside Seventh Heaven, finds Marlene, and Marlene's like, she does the worst thing to do, which is, I'm a friend of your mom, or, I'm a
Yeah.
friend of Tifa, which kids are never supposed to fall for.
Yep, stranger
but-
danger.
Yeah, and the kid's too scared to come out, and then she like touches the kid's hand. The screen goes green for a second, and then the kid loves Aerith.
I don't
it's
know
weird.
what
What the hell was that?
Oh, hang on. That's not exactly how it goes down. She talks Marlene out from underneath the counter. Marlene seems to have bought her, I'm a friend of Tifa's, she sent me to get you. And that's when Marlene is like, what about Daddy? And Aerith's like, you mean Barrett? And I was like, wait, what? Aerith knows everything. She was in the first game. She remembers. So anyway, but yes, then I think that maybe Marlene touched the materia that's in her hair clip or whatever. But it's real confusing because Marlene gets all like wide-eyed and Aerith is like, shh, and gives her like that look, And it was like, what are they trying to convey here? I have no fucking idea.
Vanessa or Jim, do you have an explanation?
I feel like maybe Aerith was like she was showing Marlene something to like calm her down, and also there's that like shush thing you get at the end, which is like can't tell anybody
Yeah.
what I
Yeah.
just showed you, but it's a spoiler, so don't tell anybody.
So as they slowly walk towards the door swings open, and what's the guy's name?
Song.
Song is standing there. We got a brief glimpse of him flying over in a helicopter earlier, and he saw Aerith like laying on the ground from getting knocked over by an explosion, and was like, "Change."
Have we
of
said who Song
plans."
is?
No, the game doesn't say who fucking Song is.
Yeah.
Song is the leader of the Turks. He's like the Turks manager.
But he clearly is excited.
So he's
to go
like
get Aerith.
Reno and Rude's boss. Yeah, that's their whole deal.
And they kind of decide to cut a deal, and then it kind of cuts away. So like Marlene and Aerith leave with Song, and then we cut back to Cloud, still pinned down.
Yep.
He's been pinned down the whole time. Rude sort of has a little monologue where he almost has a crisis of conscience. He's like, I guess we're gonna like kill all these people. Well, it's too late for me to care.
Yeah.
He saves Tifa because Reno sees Tifa running up the stairs and tries to turn the guns on her, but Rude yanks the controls of the helicopter so that he misses. And then
Yeah, this is that callback I mentioned last week that is like kind of like an Easter egg for that cutscene that you get in the original where Rude admits to having a crush on Tifa. Like he won't let Tifa be killed
How
by
does he know who Tifa is?
Reno. I don't know.
Maybe he
Maybe
went to the bar
Turks.
sometime or
Maybe the
something.
Turks have intel on potential Avalanche members.
So we, as Cloud and Tifa, get to head up the scaffolding or whatever up the pillar.
I'm sorry, I guess it's Reno who has the crisis of conscience. Rude
Yes,
doesn't
that's
care
right.
Except about Tifa.
Wait, I thought it was the other way around.
No, Rude has the crush on Tifa. Reno is the red-haired guy who says, "Well, it's too late to grow a conscience now."
Right.
So we head up the tower and we get to the top, and we fight some boys. We run into Barrett, and this is when Rude.
Wait, we're totally skipping
What?
our first encounter with another named member of Avalanche is running into Biggs.
Oh, of course.
And
Yes, we do have
you get a
multiple
moment
long
with Biggs.
cutscenes here that we have to discuss.
Yes.
Fucking
It's a
hate
Real
all of
Metal
this.
Gear
Yeah.
death cutscenes.
All these fucking people, from Wedge to fucking Biggs to Jesse, all of them are like dirty and coughing. None of them are visibly injured. Do they all have broken ribs? They certainly don't
Yeah,
have
I
any
guess.
fucking wounds.
How come? And you know that they don't have enough time to interrupt the buttons at the end. if they just skipped talking to these people and just ran up, they would have had time to stop whatever
It's
button shenanigans. But they had to spend
right.
10 minutes going with Jesse
We get a
and
death
going
scene
with Biggs.
for fucking
and-
Biggs, yeah, and then we get a death scene for fucking
Yeah.
Jesse. But Wedge survived.
Vanessa, were you moved by these death scenes?
I was a little bit moved by Jesse's death scene. I wasn't really moved by Big's death scene because he's boring.
I felt the same way. And also during Jesse's death scene, Tifa is crying very hard. I just feel so bad for Tifa.
Yeah. And Jesse's sort of thing is that she talks about how she deserves this because she set those bombs that hurt all those people. But she doesn't know that it wasn't her fault, and she was framed, and she died thinking that she was to blame, and that's terrible.
Wedge also expresses a similar sentiment, though. He says, like, I feel like this was going to happen eventually. It's like a reckoning for all the stuff that we've done. So
Yeah.
he's wrestling with guilt too, as is Tifa.
I mean, it's kind of nice to have the terrorists get some sort of comeuppance.
Yeah. Like I said, I think I said this a couple episodes ago, but I'm pretty sure it's canon that Wedge, Jesse, and Biggs can't enter the full live stream because of the murders they committed. Like they're in purgatory forever.
Eco-terrorists. That's different.
So we get to the top of the tower. Reno jumps out of the helicopter, and we get another Reno fight.
We get a Reno fight, and then he.
I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, sorry.
It really felt like they were pushing Reno hard to be like the cool character. He definitely does a lot of cursing. You know, he calls Cloud a bitch. He calls him a bunch of shitbirds. It's real fucking weird. It's real weird. This game won't show
sucks.
people's fucking like dying people's blood on dying people, but is more than happy to have Reno be like, bitch. Okay.
Matt, they're just out of hit points. They don't need to
Yeah.
have injuries. They're
Well, then why did they
internal hit
cast
point meters
Kira?
down.
I have Kira. Why don't we cast that on?
I did wonder about that.
Yeah, I mean, that's
Like,
always
why
the
aren't you
question.
using any of your healing items on these
Yeah,
people?
here's a Phoenix down.
Yeah, that's always the question in these cutscenes for every Final Fantasy game, to be perfectly frank, and most JRPGs.
I like my favorite moment though here is when Reno does say bitch, because Cloud is like, "Are you really gonna do this?" And Reno says, "It's nothing personal." ... Bitch.
Yeah, it's very clearly personal. I guess that's in contrast something that makes like Baldur's Gate a little more interesting is that, even when people die, like they know they can bring them back to life. Whereas in these games,
Yeah.
they just ignore that when it comes to the plot stuff. So anyway, we fight Reno and then Rude jumps in and we get to fight them both at the same time. I
thought
knocked
it
them
got pretty
out
hard when-
so fucking fast. Now, again, I have never taken it off of easy mode, so I'm not trying to sound like I'm some pro gamer, but it really made me laugh how quickly I put these two fucking assholes in the ground. One limit break on Rude was enough to send him flying.
Oh, the limit breaks are fun in this game. Yeah, I will say, like, I tried playing this chapter on hard. It was way too difficult for
just
me,
realized
so I
I never
switched back to
switched.
normal and completed it.
I just realized I never swapped out my new limit break. Boo.
So yeah, I thought this was kind of. I mean, it was moderately difficult on normal, especially when you're fighting Reno and Rude at the same time. Also, going back to the first like Reno appearance, when he crashes his helicopter and joins the fight officially, he walks out of the wreckage without his sunglasses because they're broken, and then pulls a new pair out of his.
Well,
pocket
he like
again.
they fly off his head because Reno picks him up, and I could not tell if he took the glasses out of Reno's hand or took yet another pair out of his pocket because they definitely
maybe.
disappear from Reno's hand, but I don't know.
And it does fake out that Reno thinks Rude is dead for a second.
Yeah.
We also get a lot of Reno, like, so there's a computer at the top here, and Reno runs over and inputs some codes to drop the
Like,
plate. Why would you have
Plate
this?
release needed.
Why would
I
you
was
have
wondering
this?
too. Why would you build this?
Why install this? Very strange. But I think that
Yeah, it's weird.
we stop Reno from doing it, right? But it's Rude that eventually runs over and hits the button.
Yes. Yeah, Reno's the one who initiates, and then the computer spits out like, plate release approval needed. Plate release approval needed. And then Rude is the one. So when you beat both of them, Rude gets up and runs as fast as he can to the console, and then a bunch of whispers show up.
That's
and
right.
they get in between Rude, the console, and everybody else. And then Rude has time to push the button. And then the plate starts to fall.
And then the plate starts to fall, and Barrett, Tifa, and Cloud jump onto some like zip
It's like a zip
lines.
line.
It is. I'm not even trying to make a
This
joke.
was really similar to that really funny cutscene you get in the original where they swing on that wire and they're all in their like polygons and they're like swinging against a cinematic that's happening in the background.
I like.
It's really
I
funny.
liked how Barrett jumps on the line, grabs Tifa, and jumps on the line, and Cloud just jumps off and grabs onto the two of them. It's like a big three-way
Yeah.
hug all the way down.
is.
If the plate is falling, what is this thing attached to? It doesn't make any sense, but I
Yeah.
guess it doesn't
Well,
matter.
you
They
see
did it.
you see a video too at the console of Song, and Song is like, we're gonna blow the plate up now, and then he says, "We also got what we were looking for. Thank you for leading us to the ancient." And Cloud's like, "Ancient,"
Yeah.
and then Aerith runs up and she's like, "Hey, Marlene is safe."
She doesn't say that because she's an idiot. She says, "I found Marlene."
Oh,
Two
yeah, she says,
very
"I found
different
Marlene."
statements.
Yeah.
She should have said Marlene is safe.
Yes, yeah. Or like Marlene is with my mom.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she goes, I took her to, and they're like, shut up.
Well, no,
Yeah.
she's saying I'm at, because they ask, where are you? She says, I'm at, and they
Oh,
just
right.
go.
Oh, right,
And instead
yeah.
of like, they literally, all it takes is somebody saying shut up for her to stop talking and not finish your sentence. Nobody put their hand over your fucking mouth. I guess it
And then they
doesn't
like
matter.
nonchalantly walk out of frame, which was funny.
Song
but
comes
yeah,
across
so we
as a
see
real
that.
sociopath here. Like, he does not give a fuck.
Yeah, we also get a cutscene. I think it's after we exit the sewer, maybe, of President Shinra, Reeve, and Heidegger.
Jim Heidegger?
And
I didn't watch this yet.
yeah, so Reeve is trying to
Did I?
convince
Oh, no, I
President. Reeve is trying to convince President Shinra.
No, this is.
To
that was
rethink
earlier.
the plan,
Yeah.
or to like rethink the plan or give a warning. And Heidegger's like, "Listen to this weak jerk." And
I
President
love when the plate's actually falling and it cuts
Oh,
to
right,
Ketchi
Yeah.
like pounding the ground.
He looks so
Like,
good.
No.
So is that Reeve controlling Ketchi?
Yeah, it must be.
Or
Yes,
is that once
yeah,
again
must be, yeah.
going with my theory that Ketchi is sentient?
I think it was Reeve trying to subvert Shinra by taking driving Catchy to the plate to try to
Yeah, I agree.
sabotage their plan. Yeah. Why do you think Catchy is sentient?
Oh, because Ketchi has some lines right before the Temple of the Ancients falls on him.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
That's like, hey, I can think for myself too.
Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was pretty cool to watch, and we're gonna end this chunker with escaping the escaping the Sector 7 plate collapse.
We did it.
Yay! Where are we playing to next time?
I put it in the notes. We are playing to the end of chapter 15.
Ooh.
So
chapter 15's a bad one.
Why?
We'll talk about it.
Okay. So we will, like I said, play to the end of chapter 15. I've already got the rest of the episodes planned out. Episode after that, we're going to finish the main game, and then the last episode will be the intermission.
Oh, nice.
DLC. Yeah.
Intergrade.
No, the intergrade is the upgrade, like the upgrade re-release.
whatever.
Intermission is the DLC, John.
All right.
What are we squarely against?
I would like to go first.
All right.
Vanessa.
two things I want to talk about. Thing one, I've been really hard on Cloud this whole game, and I did kind of finally start to come around to be pro Cloud based on just one line he has. It's when Tifa finds him and she's amazed at how she looks and she's like, "Oh my god, Cloud, you." And he goes, "Yeah, I know, nailed it, moving on, thank you."
Yeah, that's really good.
Or like, "Yeah, thank you, nailed it, moving on."
Dress, looks, nailed it. I know.
Yep. Yep. It's great. It was like the first time I felt like he had shown any personality. And I appreciated his lack of gay panic at being praised at how he looks in a dress. Thing number two, so that's what I'm roundly for, squarely against the pump puzzle that Tifa and Aerith do. It was really dumb. It was really stupid. And I hate how in this game, every time they come across a switch, they have to like look at the switch and then talk about the switch and then talk about what the switch is going to do and then talk about how they're going to switch the switch and then say, "Hey, Cloud, why don't you switch that switch?" And it is just like, it takes forever. They're like, "Oh, a power switch. I bet this powers the power. Wow, we should power the power by powering this power switch. Cloud, why don't you go over there and switch that power switch?" And then you do it, and they're like, "Oh my god, the power turned on."
A great example of this is in the sewers when there's like a section where you run in the dark. You find a power switch immediately after the section and go, "Hey, this must be a power switch." And they go, "Man, this power switch is really old." And Cloud goes, "Yeah, it's probably older than the Mako reactors. Wow, that's really old. Hey, I wonder what'll happen if we flip the switch. Cloud, flip the switch."
Yeah.
It's like, oh my god, just do it.
Yeah, just flip the switch. Or do it yourself.
Yeah.
Like, Cloud doesn't have to do it. It's a switch.
Push him out of the way.
Yep. So, that's me. Johnny.
All right. So real quick, I said I was going to talk about this in my squarely against. I have the same problem with many other games that are also good games, but give you a pressing narrative thing of, we need to do this immediately. For instance, BioShock has this one section where you're supposed to save this guy's family, and it has a 4-hour detour of like, oh, we can't get to this door. Let's go and learn about this artist who encases people in papier mache and kills them. Mm-hmm. And it's like they could have handled it differently so that it wouldn't be frustrating, but they don't. And this is exactly the same, is that I think this could have been a side quest in Aerith's portion where you can go and investigate the train yard and learn about the ghosts, and that would have been fine. But to have it be, we need to save these people from getting killed and then do an hour of ghost busting just sucks. Yeah. It just really, really sucks. And I was thinking about why the padding in this game feels so much worse than like, I think like Skyrim has and Breath of the Wild and everything have plenty of boring quests that are repetitive and not super interesting, but they don't hit me. They don't make me as mad as this game, and I don't exactly know why.
I think my issue with them is that I feel like I can't control the pace of them. Like usually with filler content, I feel like I can move through it at my own pace for the most part. This one has such slowdowns where you have to slow walk or watch a train moving animation or watch a ghost thing, and I feel like it just removes a lot of my control over the pace at which I can play the game, and it just makes it way more annoying.
Matthew, what are you squarely against?
I'm roundly for the great dance scene. It's a delight. It's a fantastic addition. It's fun. I am squarely against the terrible walking Aerith to Seventh Heaven part. I really fucking hated this. Just cut away and show her getting there and song walking in. That would have been fine. Forcing us to walk through these. I mean, I don't know what. I think they're trying to convey like the panic and everything, but it's so fucking weird. People are seeing what's happening. Helicopters crashing and just standing around in the streets until, oh, thank God Aerith and Wedge showed up and told us to run, I guess. Just everything about it, from the terrible wedge cutscene with the guards to the fucking terrible slow walk with the little child, drove me crazy. Hated it. Once again, the game completely wrenching control away from you at every opportunity to slow things down and pad things out. It sucks. It's a reason that this was, 6 hours of the actual game and is now a fucking 40-hour game? It shows. It sucks. What about you, Jim?
I will say that I'm roundly for... I feel like the personality of the game really comes out when it feels like it's doing its own thing. When it's trying to tick off the boxes of the original, I feel like it seems pretty bland, but then when it has the opportunity to be creative, it seems like it always does it really well. Like the sequence in, like the whole Honeybee Inn sequence, and all of your interactions with like the people in the gym, and like when it does take the liberties to update its narrative, it feels like it's just a whole different game, and I really like that. And it makes me very optimistic for the next one in the series that hopefully will get a release date announced soon. There was a lot of news about it this last week. Did you guys see that?
No.
No, I did not.
The developers put out, like, they answered like a Q&A of like 5 questions.
Yeah. Probably most likely from their own PR department.
Oh, well, yeah, I'm sure they weren't coming from actual people, but it was all very generic, and they said that that like development is going very well, and what they're trying to do now is to nail down an actual release date. One question was, do I need to play the first remake game to play this new one? And they said no.
That seems weird.
And they said people are going to be given a lot of agency to explore a lot of areas in the game. This feels like it's going to be maybe less on rails than
Yeah, that's the
one.
hope.
Yeah.
All right. We did get an email today. Vanessa, would you like to read our fancy email?
Okay. Here come the email. Here come the email. Here come the Oh, the inbox is full of Patreon comments. All right, here we go. Hello, Square Roots hosts. That's us. Hi, it's David Arnold, Patreon, who Vanessa correctly identified cannot speak French in episode 325.
Seems
I've
wrong.
done it.
Vanessa identified a listener?
Yeah, it's true. I usually can't spot them in a crowd. But in this particular case, I knew that he could not parler the français.
Something fishy going
Well,
on
I've
here.
finally done it. Well, I've finally done it and listened to every episode in order to catch up with the live version of the show. It was honestly so very worth it, and I want to thank you all for sharing this with everyone in the world. In addition to my appreciation, I wanted to ask a question. A few months ago, I quit my day job to become a video game designer. So listening to the podcast helped me think about what players enjoy and don't enjoy about RPGs. If the hosts of Square Roots were suddenly thrust into an RPG, what special abilities would each host have? And what would they be? And would they be things players enjoy? For example, summoning Vanessa boyfriends have great floppy hair animation? Or would they earn complaints? For example, Matt's vape cloud ability is way too floaty. Again, thanks for the podcast and being bravely yourselves. David. Jim, I choose you. Tell me what your special power will do.
Special power. I don't know.
I'll go. I've got
Go ahead.
Drunken Master powers. That's right. Give me a touch of the sauce, and then suddenly I'm good at things. Like fighting, I guess? What about you, John?
I'm gonna say summoning Beefy Boys. The stampede of Beefy Boys will overpower them with our masculine beefiness. or feminine beefiness. Hey, both are cool. What about Vanessa?
Yeah.
If I was in a game, there's one thing I would do. It would be to sing lovely songs to you. Would the listeners like it? Would the players enjoy? No, they'd say it was just
Don't go to school.
Oh no. I ran out of rhymes. My attack failed.
Wait, what was what are you trying to rhyme to?
Joy, I believe.
Boy?
There's no rhymes for joy. No, Johnny, my attack failed.
Ploy.
It's terrible. We're going to get nothing but complaints about my special attack. I do think we need to think of a special attack for Jim before we let this go.
Lore master. That's who I want to be. And my power will be to know everything about what's going on in the narrative, but be bad at the game.
To know it, but to not really understand it.
Yeah.
Sort of like in Persona, where you have that one character who can identify enemy weaknesses and things for you.
Yeah, I'm Teddy from the first part of Persona 4.
All right. Thanks for the email.
It was a really nice email. I enjoyed it very much.
Jim, it's time
Good
for
email.
you to do a Patreon plug.
I would love to. Hey, listeners, have you ever heard of a thing called Patreon? It's a platform where we have a program where you can give us money in exchange for access to sweet content and the ability to vote on games that we play on the show. At patreon.com/Square Roots Podcast, you can give us $3 a month and you will gain access to all of our sweet bonus content. We do at least one extra Patreon bonus a month. We've done film commentaries, we've done all kinds of stuff. Most recent bonus was talking about the new Dungeons and Dragons film, Honor Among Thieves. At the $5 level, you get access to all that content, plus the ability to vote on games that we play on the show. As John said in the opening, we do have a vote that just went live right before this recording. And I like the way John has formatted his vote. We got a lot of different options in the first round, and the top 4 will move on to the final vote. Among those games that are being presented now, there's Trials of Mana, Persona 2, Shining Force, Wild Arms, Trails in the Sky, Resonance of Fate, Nier Replicant / Gestalt, Lunar Silver Star, Suikoden 2, and Dragon Quest 8. Like I said, if you would like to become a patron, you can do so at patreon.com/Square Roots Podcast. And at the end of every show, we do like to go around the horn and thank some of our patrons. Personally, I'll kick us off this week by thanking Benjamin Hilberg, Dr. Fine Say Everyone's Name, Grey Code, William Westgard, Chris Ryan, Rubber Bear, Tracy, Huxley Iguana, Dovahkien's Discount Dragon Barn, Sean Gonzalez, Tyler Crump, and Hudson Roth.
I'd like to thank Seth G., Wash in the Wind, Seattle Sounders are soccer champions from Alaska to Trinidad, Orcus the Great, Jizzle Physics, Mary Queen of Scoffs, DP 2099, Chad Wilson, Joseph, Mike Marno, The Nippleheim Incident, and Kodab Games.
I'd like to thank Daniel Wood, Jason Teens, Welcome to Cute Boy Jail, Hong Kong, Ari Corbivara, Sexy Grandma's Retirement Home, T. Balders, I Hardly Knows Her, Bumpkins, Matt, Angel, Kristen Ingram, Isaac Wright, Hey, it's me, Imoen, and What is Baldur's Gate Baldur Then?
And I would like to thank Keysby Knight, Sergeant Spaghetti, Esteban Gonzalez, Nawford, Ryan Schmidt, Justin Rash, Cameron Shoei, Wishbone is Gay, Carmen Liz, Sol Wagner, Ross Hartley, Oh No, Adam H., and Vanessa's Mom's Limit Break.
All right, everyone, that's it for this episode of Square Roots. If you'd like to have an email read on the air, you can send it to squarerootspodcast@gmail.com. Come see us at our Facebook group, the Square Roots Podcast Group for smart, cool, attractive people, or find us on Twitter at Square Roots Pod.
Please rate, review, and subscribe on iTunes, Ghana, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Thanks to Stephen Morris for our Square Roots theme. You can find Stephen on Twitter as Beige on Beige, and on YouTube. Links for both are in the show notes.
All right, everyone, for Square Roots, I'm Jim Banks.
I'm Matthew Van Zant.
I'm Johnny Brandon.
And I'm Vanessa.
I'm just here for the zip line.